WHL hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Friday, January 8th when the Vancouver Giants lay siege to the Alberta capital as they look to dethrone the Edmonton Oil Kings. WHL hockey.
It was the last game before Christmas when all through Rexall Place, the Oil Kings were stirring, focusing on forcing the Rebels into an about-face. The jerseys were hung in the dressing room with care in hopes of a victory soon would be there. Now Redicke, now Vinsour, now Pissick and Jung. On Kutsi, on Petrovic, on Kuderna and Green. They sprang onto the ice, going hard to the whistle with the speed and precision of a rocketing missile. And what to my wandering eyes should appear? The WHL on Shaw spreading holiday cheer.
Good evening and welcome to the final edition of the WHL on Shaw in 2009. My name is Dan Elliott. Let's get you set for tonight's contest, beginning with the Sobeys pregame show. Well, instead of moving forward, the Edmonton Oil Kings are taking a serious step back in this, their third full season in the WHL. After 22 wins in their inaugural year and 30 wins in season number 2, including a tiebreaker victory to vault them into the playoffs, the club is on pace for just 18 wins in year 3. You name the category and the odds are the Oil Kings are at or near the bottom. Goals for, power play, and penalty kill included. The only thing going for them right now is a one-game winning streak, finally putting to an end a string of 11 straight losses. How will they fare versus a Red Deer team? Happy to see anybody but the Medicine Hat Tigers. The Rebels are playing some of their best hockey of the season, picking up 7 wins in their last 11 games. 3 of the 4 losses coming at the hands of that team from Orange County. Both the Rebels and Oil Kings, interesting stat, are coming into tonight coming off victories over the Regina Pats. It's a big game at Rexall Place because it is Teddy Bear Toss Night. With more on our final game before the holiday, let's check in with the 2 men calling the action in Edmonton, Dan Russell and Bill Wilms.
Thank you very much, Dan. Well, the season that you mentioned for Edmonton that began with quite a bit of promise has spiraled a little out of control in recent weeks. Despite a month, though, between victories for the Oil Kings, they're still within striking range of Red Deer, a team, Bill, they're going to play 4 of the next 6 times.
I think either team is looking at a sweep in those 4 games, and that would change things immensely as where they sit in the standings.
Well, there they are. Red Deer is holding down the number 8 position. Edmonton Oil Kings with 26 points, so you can see what the sweep would do for Edmonton, who snapped an 11-game losing streak on Wednesday, and they had a big game from some key guys.
Well, they got back to Rexall Place, and Mark Pessick, Steve Plow says this guy has been their best defenseman since he came up as a 16-year-old. He's only 17. They want him to jump up in the Rushmore. I think to be happy with what he did there. The other guy is Brent Redicke. Nice job of leading this hockey club. Got a little bit tired on the road, but the first game back here, great backhand goal. When he's alone in front of the net like that, terrific. Michael St. Croix, a 16-year-old, Dan, he tore up the Bantam League in scoring in Winnipeg. He tore up the Midget League, although it took him a little bit longer, and he's really figured out the Western Hockey League of late, doing a nice job in his first half of the season here.
Well, you can tell by that celebration at the end, they were relieved to get a victory, and Brent Redicke spoke about that with Brendan Parker a short time ago.
How much of a relief was that win for this hockey team?
Yeah, it was huge for us, definitely. You don't like to go on losing streaks like that, but it was good for our team to get the win. A couple nights ago against Regina, and we're looking to continue on that tonight.
What kind of thing does the momentum prove now when you move into the new year?
Yeah, momentum's huge. I mean, if we could pick up a couple wins against Red Deer here before the break, going to Christmas feeling good about ourselves, and go home, get some rest, and then come back and continue the season and hopefully hope for a playoff run.
Appreciate this.
No problem.
All right, Brendan, let's now turn our attention to the Red Deer Rebels. Their play hasn't always been pretty, but it's been pretty effective of late with points, Bill, in their last 6 games.
Yeah, the two guys that lead them, without a doubt, are number 9, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and number 19, Willie Coetzee. They were terrific against the Pats the other night. You stand around and watch these guys play, they will get the puck to each other. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, number 9, he's one of those guys that makes the opposition sit up a little bit straighter when he's got the puck. What I like about Willie Coetzee, number 19, Dan, last year he was a 1-2 punch with Landon Ferrero. He's shown this year that he can play with anybody that's got that kind of skill like a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. How about this coast-to-coast play? Watch where he goes with it after losing that puck. There, gets it back, and to Coetzee right at the side of the net. And they were, I thought, they looked like the best 1-2 punch in the WHL the other night against the Regina Pads.
Well, indeed, they had great chemistry, Nugent-Hopkins and Coetzee did, and Brendan Parker spoke with Willie a short time ago.
Willie, how has this relationship with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins grown through this season?
It's been a great relationship. He's a great hockey player, and me and him are starting to click well this year, and I think he's starting to get his groove out there, and he's playing well for us.
What did the last few games before the Christmas break mean to a hockey team?
It means a lot for us. It means that we have 19 wins before going in the next part of the season, and I think it will help a lot if we win tonight, and it's just going to be a big push for the playoffs.
Thanks for this.
Thank you.
Time now for the Waste Management starting goalkeepers. Darcy Kemper from Saskatoon against Tori Jung from Nanaimo, British Columbia. Dan, as we send it back to you at WHL Central.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dan. The Oil Kings hoping to benefit from which should be a larger home crowd tonight for the Teddy Bear Toss tonight. They are only 5-7-2-1 on home ice, but they lead the league in loser points, as it were, in shootout losses and OT losses. A lot of close games for them. They have 4 OT losses and 4 shootout losses. They're trying to turn that around so they can pick up those 2 points. You heard their schedule as they move forward for their next 6 games versus the Red Deer Rebels. 2 of those coming up tonight and tomorrow night. So it's the front end of a home and home. They'll be at Rexall Place tonight, and then the NMAX Centrium tomorrow night in Red Deer, for both teams finishing up their schedule before the holiday break when they resume after Christmas. Well, that will do it for the Sobeys pregame show, but do not go anywhere. The opening face-off between the Oil Kings and Rebels is coming up next right here on the WHL on Shaw.
Last year alone, Waste Management recycled enough paper to save over 41 million trees. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green. Think Waste Management.
Independent Jewelers, Edmonton's only 32,000 square foot full service jewelry store and watch center, located at 170th Street and 112th Avenue, and online at independentjewelers.net.
The EricHolmes.com real estate team is a proud sponsor of community television. Visit us at EricHolmes.com.
God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Ladies and gentlemen, Desiree Leverett.
Well, despite only about an hour and a half apart, this is meeting number 1 between the Oil Kings and Rebels. And for Edmonton, a very important stretch coming up. 4 of their next 6 are against the Red Deer Rebels. And despite the hole that they've seemed to have dug themselves in, head coach Steve Plow for the Edmonton Oil Kings says this is a stretch that we can get out of. As I move aside from the Oil Kings mascot here, he says that they can't get out of this. It is only Christmas time, guys. And as they talked about, this is a stretch that is very important for their hockey team, as they can either make or break their season. And with that January 10th trade deadline looming, it is important to figure out where they stand in that Central Division. Let's go upstairs.
And you better not stand there for the rest of the night, Brendan. You'll be in the way right on the ice. Thank you for that. And some of the Edmonton area scouts on the ice, like the real scouts. And they got hockey scouts galore in this building tonight to watch. Well, first of all, these two goalies, Darcy Kemper, who, like Torrey Jung, has been in the loss column too many times. 13 losses for Kemper, 16 losses, which is #1 in the WHL for Torrey Jung, as Jung comes in with a 3.54 goals against average. A couple school teachers working the game tonight from St. Albert. You've got Derek Herman and Andy Biblau from Saskatoon. Last day of school. And the last game on Shaw before the Christmas break. You see the linesman there as well. And as Brendan mentioned, the first meeting of the year last year, as only today's hockey standings can give you, both teams had a winning record against each other. More on that a little later. Edmonton in the dark uniform shoot the puck in. Red Deer, who we saw earlier this week on Shaw, now in their road white uniforms. Teams will probably switch right after Christmas, and you'll see home teams wear white and the away teams wear the dark uniforms. As Kutsi brings the puck in over the line, but no further. Shot down the ice by the Oil Kings. Will this be far enough for icing? Not quite. They waved it off at the last moment as Petrovic moves the puck up the wall. Lifted out to center ice where it's controlled there by Rabowski. He tries to get the puck in. Petrovic has it now. Off the boards and out to the neutral zone. Ferguson's pass missing on the far side, Cowan. And that allows the Oil Kings to get it out to center where Michael Burns redirects it back into Red Deer territory. Kemper handling the puck for the first time. And then a puck goes off the stick into the netting, and our first whistle is almost a minute in.
I think there is something special for the viewers tonight, people watching this game. I think there are 3 excellent subplots that you can look for tonight. Couple 16-year-olds, Bantam 08 first-round pick, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, #9 for Red Deer, #18 for Edmonton, Michael St. Croix, one went 1, one went 4. How about those 2 17-year-olds, defensemen, likely first-round picks, Alex Petrovic, #7. For Red Deer, #3, Mark Pesic. We've already talked about him. And what about those 19-year-old signings, Dan? Willie Kutsi, Brent Reddicky, both signed with the Detroit Red Wings. And I'll tell you, all 6 of those guys are going to be playing extra special tonight to outperform the other.
I like those subplots, and I know the scouts are sure looking forward to seeing those defensemen again, whether they're viewing on TV tonight or here in the building. Pesic and Petrovic getting rave reviews from many scouts as the Rebels get out to the neutral zone. In over the line is Ferguson as he rolls it onto Jung. Oil Kings are on it. Outside the line, back in, offside.
You know, man, oh man, those long losing streaks, Dan, they're tough on coaches, and Steve Flo knows all about that. You know, you get advice, you get tips from your uncles, your aunts, your nephews, your cousins, your player agents. Everybody's got a way to help you break that losing streak. And you know, sometimes when they call your name, you duck. You don't know exactly what's coming, but Steve Flo's got to be very happy with how his team performed in their first game back. By the way, that road trip they were on, Dan, 6 games, those were in 3 different provinces. They played in, not even in Alberta, Saskatchewan. They played in Manitoba and British Columbia. Fair amount of travel in those 6 games. They lost them all.
And prior to the win against Regina, their last win was November the 14th. That's how long it was between victories for this Oil Kings team as Jung turns away a weak one in the corner. Chasing it down there is Person, who's in the lineup for Red Deer. He took the warm-up, and we're wondering if he was going to get in. He's been battling a concussion difficulty. So John Person from Sweden wears #15 back in the Red Deer lineup and on his first shift right now. Haber plays it around the boards. Haber was just picked up from Seattle about less than a week ago. It started this week, I should say, as we've seen Red Deer twice. So that would have been Monday that Haber joined the Red Deer Rebels from Seattle. As you see, the Oil Kings, Roshinsky from back of the net. Roshinsky and Foster. Foster's got the puck. Pesic now. Cross ice over here to Nickel. Long shot through traffic. Turned aside. Rebound in front. And it's kept out. I'm not sure if it got to the goalie or not, but Roshinsky had the chance in front of the net. Here's your first scoring opportunity of the hockey game. Pesic back to get it. Mark Pesic. Lead pass as it bounces out here in the neutral zone.
Picked up there by the Red Deer Rebels. Adam Cambites plays it back. Petrovic dishes it off, and here comes Cullen Morin. Morin's pass went off a stick down the ice. No icing. Jung will handle it. Sweeps it around these near boards. Adam Cambites trying to get it in front. It's a second opportunity. Now from back of the net, here's Scheidel. Scheidel back towards Cambites, but Pesic intercepted. Now it is controlled by Redicke, and the Oil Kings are going to get out of their own zone, but then they just iced the puck, and that looked like an unnecessary icing, but the faceoff will come all the way back.
Yeah, defense to defense along the blue line. Important again to get these shots through. So many defense in this league are able to do that. Nickel, there's the shot. Save made by Kemper. Loses a rebound a little bit. You're absolutely right. Cameron McLeese goes hard, looks for that rebound, can't find it. And again, a nice job by both defensemen for the Red Deer Rebels, jamming up the front of the net. Boy, that's about as much as a collapse around your goaltender as you're going to be able to see. They did it well.
Justin Weller was the one who seemed to throw his body in front of it, number 26. Offensive zone faceoff now for the Rebels. As we mentioned, they were on Shaw 3 nights ago, beating Regina 3-2. And in the last 3 games, 5 of a possible 6 points, 4 wins and 2 overtime losses in their last 6. 7-2-2 in their last 11. So the points are piling up for the Red Deer Rebels right now. There's a centering pass by Michael Burns. It doesn't click from the line. A shot well wide, likely intentionally wide by Nickel. They get the bounce off the backboards. Here's Redicke, number 9. Brent Redicke with 16 goals this year. Trying to come off the boards. He got it in front. There's a shot on goal to Burns. I'm not sure if Redicke was trying to get it to Burns or not, but it got there, and there's a save by Kemper.
Couple nines battling here. One a 19-year-old signed player by the Detroit Red Wings, and the other Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Redicke does a real good job fighting off Hopkins. Hopkins is center. He's got to play his man to man, and he just loses. Flat out ends up on the ice, and the nice job that Redicke does. It took him about, I would say, 5 seconds to win that battle, and he got it to Michael Burns for the shot on the net. But that's the Brett Redicke that the Oil Kings have to have show up. Certainly, he's had a great first half of the season.
Red Deer able to tip it out to center as Deagle chopped it out there, put back in again. And here's Aaron Barreco. Barreco to Archer. Archer off the wall, down the ice. Icing will be called on Red Deer.
Dan, you talked about the Rebels getting points, and you know, Jesse Wallen's team's been doing it without 3 key guys, I think. Landon Ferrero, Andre Caderna, and Nathan Green. I'm telling you, that line, those 3 guys would be a top line on a lot of teams in the Western Hockey League. And, you know, when I see the lack of games Ferrero's played, 17 this year, I kind of feel like Red Deer's got a Michelangelo there. He just can't get up the ladder. He's just got to get into the lineup for this team to really maybe take him over the hump.
Nearing the 5-minute mark of the first period. If you're just joining us, this is Teddy Bear Toss Night. If you've never seen one of those before and heard all about them, just keep waiting and waiting for an Edmonton goal. Could come in the next few seconds, could come in the next couple hours. Or maybe it doesn't come at all, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see a goal. Not very many Teddy Bear Toss Nights end up with a shutout. So let's hope for the Edmonton fans that they don't have to hold their Teddy Bears too long. Rebels coming out of their own zone. Off the glass high there as Ferguson got it out to center. Jordy Deagle has played a lot of games in this league, 226 to be exact. Deagle, who played a lot of those games in Prince George with the Cougars, gets to the bench as they're making a line change. Here comes Foster, maybe trying to catch him on a change, and over the line, and a shot turned aside. That was McLeese getting the shot. And here comes Red Deer out to the neutral zone as Haber couldn't get it in deep, but finally they do.
And both teams so far have done one of the simple things that coaches look for, and that's put pucks into safe places. If you haven't really got a good breakout play, just put it somewhere where it's not going to enter the danger area very quickly, and they've done a nice job of that.
6 minutes gone in the first period. 4-2 the shots in favor of the Oil Kings. In on the forecheck there is Rhett Rashinsky, Edmonton boy, number 20. Couldn't get clear possession, but the Oil Kings do have it now. He kept to the outside. Number 16 going in there is TJ Foster, but he couldn't get it in front. Chasing over here, 14 is Seawalk for Red Deer, and he's forced back on his backhand. He dishes it back, and the Rebels look like they're going to come out of their own zone. And with some speed, here comes Seawalk in over the blue line. He's by himself, however, and his shot hits Halukov. And now it is controlled by Larocque. only for a moment as he lost the puck. Rebels have a chance down low, and a shot on goal is stopped by Jung. Petrovic pinching, throws it hard in front of the net, goes back to Morin. He doesn't take a shot. Now he does, and it's right on Jung, and a pretty healthy rebound, but it comes out to the Oil Kings, who were able to sweep it into that corner. Over in the far side, St. Croix racing to get it first. He'll flip it up high, but he can't get it out. It does, however, come out as Morin couldn't hold it in. Here comes Burns, and his shot tips out of play. Let's go down to Brendan. You're not still on the ice, are you?
No, I did finally get off, and the mascot's not on my way this time either. But I want to tell you guys about that wild Alberta weather earlier this month. They created some great stories for the Red Deer Rebels. On their way to Lethbridge, took them 2 hours normally longer than it would have. They go in and win that game. They had to stay overnight. The next morning, the team bus gets stuck, but not to fear. All the Red Deer Rebel players get out and actually use Gatorade coolers to clear the snow away. They get the bus free. Later that night, go back home to Red Deer and beat the Saskatoon Blades. They have won 4 of 6 since then, so maybe a good omen for this hockey team.
Indeed, lots of good bus stories, or not so good ones in terms of the heat. Wasn't, I guess, about a week or so ago when Red Deer was on another trip. It was so cold that they were on a 5-hour. The bus never really did warm up. They couldn't get the good heat going in. Or as Bill likes to call it, max heat. Get on max heat, Dan.
Listen, let me tell you something. The guy told me this.
Well, hang on a second. There's Sudek with a shot. Go ahead.
This afternoon that they grounded all airplanes in Edmonton because it was too cold to fly. I'd never heard of that.
Cootsie in over the blue line. Deagle fans on his first shot, or he tried that on purpose so he could have that nifty pass. It ended up to the point. As Barreto took that shot, didn't reach the net. Bowski has it. Former Tri-City American gets the puck out to the neutral zone. Archer in control. Out to the open wing, but it is gobbled up by the Rebels and brought in over the blue line, and an opportunity there, and a shot on goal that was taken by Elson, who scored a goal the other night against the Pats. Behind the net, Ferguson. There's Elson. Deagle's roaming around in front of the net. Can't get him the puck. Collision back at the goal as Iwanek took down his man. And now a long lead pass to Logan Prue.
And you see how quickly Mark Pesic was there to pick it up. Mark Pesic reads the play so well.
Down the ice it goes. This will be an icing called on Red Deer.
You know, the thing about Mark Pesic, when you have that versatility that he has, he plays, you know, he kills penalties. He plays on the power play. And more often than not, Mark Pesic for the Edmonton Oil Kings plays against the other team's top line. And that kind of versatility allows you to play in so many different situations. And, you know, if that's the case, obviously you're going to log lots and lots of ice time. And, you know, again, I'm talking to guys in the media room today. Wow, you can't believe how many people follow Mark Pesic, or how many scouts wanting to see what, you know, what they're going to get. He's going to be a very, very high pick.
Oil Kings on home ice have 5 victories this year. The Rebels on the road have 6 wins. No goals, no penalties so far. When the Oil Kings go to the power play, we'll tell you about how their power play has struggled. I haven't seen a team struggle on the power play on home ice like the Oil Kings have. Meantime, Red Deer Rebels, Cam Bites gets the puck back to Morin. Edmonton establishing a bit of a forecheck on a few of these shifts. Haven't really led to anything overly dangerous in the way of scoring chances, but that might be a matter of time.
Well, you know, Dan, I mean, both these teams' last games were against the Pats, and no matter who you talked to said they weren't real masterpieces. They weren't anything terribly pretty, but they were effective. And, you know, as I've said so many times, it's not fishing. You don't throw them back. You take the 2 points, you go with it. But what I've seen here so far tonight is, you know, there's a little bit more in-your-face hockey. There is, you know, some forecheck. There's some push, and that always makes it for, you know, an extremely intense game.
Well, and I know the spirit of the Oil Kings, that one victory lifted their spirits a great deal. And they're playing fairly well here in the first period. There's a shot on goal down low, an opportunity there for Rashinsky, but Kemper is there to make the save. 9:57 to go. First period, we're scoreless. It's Friday night hockey, the WHL on Shaw.
The WHL, the leading supplier to the NHL for over 40 years. More WHL players are selected each year in the NHL entry draft than any other league in the world. The WHL, your game, your future.
From compacts to crossovers, the Mazda 3, engineered for handling, acceleration, response time, and safety, including Mazda's patented Triple H construction. Kelowna Motors for Mazda on Enterprise at Banks Road. Zoom, zoom.
A first-class hotel just got even better. The Kelowna Ramada Hotel and Conference Center now features brand new rooms for your comfort, and you can still count on the same attentive customer service to ensure an unforgettable experience. The Ramada Hotel and Conference Center. Reserve your stay today.
Oil Kings bench with head coach Steve Blow. Steve, are you seeing a looser team right now?
Yeah, absolutely. The atmosphere in the dressing room was excellent. I think the guys have energy. There's a good crowd here tonight. We're having fun.
What does that first goal mean to you in this game?
Well, it was big the other night. I think in this game we've got our belief, and we're doing good things. We're getting that puck deep, and that's the key to our squad.
Thanks.
You bet.
Let's go upstairs.
I mean, Steve might himself throw a teddy bear on the ice if they score first.
Yeah, but he's right. Get that puck deep. We're seeing that. Create some turnovers. That's, the bottom line on the forecheck. Get in your face hockey. Your puck pursuit is very simple, Dan. What you do when you have good puck pursuit, you take away players' options.
By the way, Plo was extended by 3 years in the summertime after doing an excellent job the first 2 years as head coach of the Oil Kings. Puck flipped in. Weller plays it around this near side. Nichols going to hold it in, but his shot does not reach the net. Coetzee can't get it. Nichols got it now. Drew Nichol, 20-year-old, playing in his hometown. Got the puck in. Will it stay in? It does for now. There's St. Croix, but he had it stripped off his stick, and the Rebels able to flip it back in, and they'll hit to the bench on a line change. Nichol back to get it. He's been here since the beginning for the Oil Kings. Puck shot in by the Rebels. Brett Ferguson giving chase. So too is Turner Elson. Elson 10, Ferguson 18. Pesic coming in there, and Nichol trying to pin him up against the walls and scores free. The Oil Kings can't get it out the first time. There's Deagle with a shot that bounces off the target. Pesic looks like he'll win the race to the puck. Elson tried to hit him, but it's knocked out by St. Croix, back out to the neutral zone. 8.5 minutes to go in the first period. And I would say, Bill, there has been one scoring chance for Edmonton, and I don't really know of a scoring chance for Red Deer yet. Very close to your vest.
Yeah, I mean, again, so much is predicated on turnovers, and there haven't been a whole lot, although we see one just inside the blue line right there.
And Scheidel does get their first opportunity, and a pretty good right pass saved by Jung. Now coming out for Edmonton is Redicke by himself as his mates are making a change, and he too flips it in and peels back. And there you see a good look at Simon Witt, 17-year-old from Victoria, handling the puck as he moved it around the boards. The captain now, Archer, trying to lug it out. And he is successful in doing so as he gets it to the Edmonton line, but no further. Witt now in possession over to Archer. Archer off these near boards, tipped into the Edmonton zone. Well, it wasn't tipped in, so it's icing called on Red Deer.
I thought it was a real interesting situation in that 11-2 loss in Moose Jaw when Brent Redicke was benched in the third period. Now that's your leading scorer for your hockey club, and more importantly, Yuri Fisher, the director of player development for the Red Wings, was in the crowd, and this is a guy that's been signed by the Red Wings, and he agreed. He said, you know what, maybe that was the best thing to do at that time, and I thought it was a great response in the next game against Brandon, and certainly we talked about that in our open. Redicke with a goal here at first game back at Rexall Place.
And in fact, on that long road trip, he only had 1 goal in 6 games and was -6 for Edmonton. In fact, and looking at Vinsor too, who's with the World Junior, his home country, that Vinsor-Redicke combination, which should combine, I mean, those are their 2 go-to guys, leading scorers. They only had 3 goals combined on that entire road trip.
Well, yeah, they never scored over 2 goals, Dan, in all 6 of those games. The Oil Kings did.
Outscored 34-10. That was what you call a terrible road trip. But they come back, they get a win. They've had a pretty decent first period here. And as they always try to say, it sounds like a cliche, but you got to find things to build on. And so they're trying to build off that Regina win and build a little bit here in the first period. And I suppose they're going to be happy with this first period so far. You already heard Steve Plo saying that he likes their sense of purpose and their spirit in the dressing room. And they're playing quite well here in the first period. It is scoreless. as it's flipped back in, and Morin has it.
And Dan, for what it's worth here, just prior to Christmas, it may not be worth much, but the Oil Kings play 11 of their last 15 games of the season at home. Now, hopefully for the Oil King franchise, they matter.
Oil Kings trying to get out of their own zone. Warbowski from Winnipeg sends it down the ice. Well, it's been an exciting week for the WHL. All the WHLers we congratulate who made the World Juniors. And there they are. Martin Jones, Colton Tubert, Hamonic, Cowan, Shen, Eberle, McMillan, Cozen. That's a nice list.
Dan, we did a game on Shaw with Hamonic and his Moose Jaw team in Medicine Hat last year. And I'm going to tell you, there was no doubt in my mind he was by far the best defenseman on the ice. In fact, Travis Hamonic from Moose Jaw was, I thought, one of the better defensemen I'd seen in the league. That doesn't surprise me. That is a nice team.
Here's a turnover in the Edmonton zone, but the Rebels are kept to the outside as Person couldn't work it in front. Also in there is Brad Haber. He can't get it. Cameron McLeese gets it out to center ice. No further. Here's Petrovic. He'll gain the red line, flip it in. On the forecheck. Rebels trying to get in there. That is Person. Number 15 trying to get it off his skates in front, but as you can see, the Oil Kings won that battle. And the other number 15, McLeish, shoots it in. Petrovic first back to get it. Alex Petrovic is from Edmonton, so you know he's extra pumped for this one as he shoots it in. Comes around this near side. It's chopped on the boards by Belness, but he couldn't get it out. Larocque goes backwards, and now we got a fight breaking out, and boy, these combatants are a long way apart.
I'll tell you, they'll close that gap.
Iwanek and Elson. And the gap has been closed. Away we go. And Iwanek getting in the first few, but then Elson comes back. Hey, that's a pretty good scrap.
You know, it is crazy. They just can never eliminate this from the game. And I'll tell you, as you watch that little scrap, I mean, maybe that's just the extra little incentive that either one of these teams need. Close teams come out, you know, playing hard, as has Jesse Wallen for the Red Deer Rebels. And so sometimes you want to look at that little extra lift that your team might need. And it wasn't much of a scrap, but I think both coaches will say, guys, hey, listen, we've got this ship pointing in the right direction. Take a look how it started over against the boards. You know, that's a classic case of getting your number, looking back and saying, okay, I got you.
And those are young guys. I mean, the Edmonton par 16, the Red Deer par 17 years old. So maybe it won't be, like you say, to take their number, and we'll have maybe a chance to do that a few times in the next few years.
No shortage in manpower. They'll play 5-on-5.
Looks like offsetting majors.
7-5 shots on goal to this point, favoring the Oil Kings. And Dan, as you said earlier, I don't think probably 3, if that, scoring chances.
I have each team down for 1 scoring opportunity. And neither one would be classified as glorious, but they each have 1 in my books, and now an icing will bring back the face-off to Edmonton's zone.
What a glorious thrill it must have been for Torrey Jung when he dressed as backup for the Edmonton Oilers, a National Hockey League team, against the Chicago Blackhawks. Remember, Happy Boolin's back stiffened, and he had to go in and back up Jeff Delorier. And you know what was really interesting? When Delorier gave up 3 goals on the first 6 shots, you wondered if Torrey Jung might get into that hockey game. He didn't, and it's been a huge thrill for him.
That was against the Chicago Blackhawks. The 1-day emergency amateur contract signed.
Remember, Jung drafted by Tampa Bay in 07, never signed.
Those were priceless shots of him at the bench that night, though. They had the Hockey Night Canada cameras on him, so he won't forget that ever. Meantime, Red Deer out of their own zone with 4:44 left in the first period. No further than center, though.
Dan, every time Redicke's had the puck on his stick, certainly in the offensive zone, he's number 9 for Edmonton. He's been a factor. He's really battled.
Petrovic
on a line change there. Obviously, if you only play that hard, you're only going to get about a 40-second shift, and you've done your work.
Brett Ferguson trying to get the puck out. Does. Shot back in again. If anything, it's got closer to the vest in the last 5 minutes. And the shot's not really telling the story, although here's a turnover. It could lead to something. Shot up high, and it's handled by Kemper. Very sharp angle shot. Nowhere to put that one.
Yeah, it's a 1-2-2 forecheck that Edmonton employs simply because the Rebels have got the puck. And, you know, sometimes you wouldn't think so. You'd think that this would not lead to a turnover. But watch, it does. A mishandled puck. And you're going to play a 1-2-2, Dan. Robin Sudik did exactly what he had to. When that puck was made, that pass was made, rather, and the puck was mishandled, he jumped on the guy in a heartbeat, turned it over, and got the shot on the net. That was well planned.
Coetzee and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins out there right now. They've been kind of quiet here in the first period in terms of that chemistry we spoke about off the top. Nothing so far from those two in the way of a scoring chance.
You know, another thing about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins that, you know, you do a little bit of research on him and you find that he really endears himself with his teammates, with his humility. I mean, he's got to be one of the more soft-spoken kids. He fits in with all the older guys, and I don't know much about that Xbox hockey game, but I know there's a couple guys on the Red Deer Rebels that when they play, they say, I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Yeah, we saw a great feature between periods on Shaw earlier this week. The Rebels quite into their video game of the NHL. Seemed like Landon Ferraro might be the champion on the team, but I'm not sure if that's current or not. And if you're out of the lineup, can you be the champion of the Red Deer Rebels video hockey game? I'm not sure. I'd have to look at their team bylaws.
I'm sure they have. No?
I'm sure they do.
See how easily Pesic made that play? And he came out one side, nothing there, no options to pass the puck, just turned it back, went the other way.
There's a shot and a pretty healthy rebound, but it's swept away by Red Deer. Is that what the scouts look at the most, Bill, with a Pesic and a Petrovic, just how easy they can move the puck out of their own zone?
Well, they talk about how you see the ice, how well you read the play, and you know, there's a word I've used it before that they use, two words, they get it. They talk about a player getting it, and that tells you they understand the game, they know where to go with pucks, they know how to protect, you know, support the puck. I think both of those are special.
So if you're just joining us, number 7 white and number 3 in the dark, the red uniforms, those are two players the scouts are really watching. Neither one is on the ice at this moment. But next time they are, keep an eye on the subtle things that they do. Here's a shot that's turned aside and handled in a bit of a juggling fashion by Kemper. But he freezes it with 2:37 to go in the period.
This is what I was talking about. I mean, folks, it looks easy, but not a lot of guys are going to do what Mark Pesic does. He's going to come hard around the back wall behind his own net, and he's going to see there's nobody to give it to. Number 3. He's looking, heads up, nothing there, still nothing up the middle. Well, just do this. Hey, simple. Just reverse it, and it'll go out the other side. Do you know how many young defensemen, Dan, would have forced that pass coming up that left wing?
I was just going to say, the word panic would maybe come in the minds of some of them as soon as that gap is tightened. And they try to force it, and that's often where the turnovers happen. Parayko back to get it, but he couldn't hold on to it cleanly. Here's a chance at the side for Sudik. They're banging at the puck in front of the net, and a big rebound there, and a shot off the post. That one went off the post. I think Comiskey hit the post. And we almost saw the teddy bears fly. But no premature teddy bear on the ice. That was a clean goal post by Comiskey. Comiskey, whose only goal this year was back on October the 28th. He's got 1 this year. At 9 his first, 8 his second. Ferguson trying to turn it over. Nugent-Hopkins there as well, and here comes Lowe. Keegan Lowe shoots the puck down the ice. Icing called on Edmonton.
This is just real good forecheck, I think, by the Edmonton Oil Kings. You get a couple of guys in, and a two-man forecheck is exactly what you're trying to get. Get that puck in deep. You can't do this unless you've got 2 guys in deep. Get it to the net. A nice job of Comiskey to get back out high, knowing that he probably was the only one that saw that puck in that scramble and got it out to the top of the slot area with another backhand, and that was the one that glanced off the post.
1:41 to go first period. The shots, 13 now for the Oil Kings. 5 for the Rebels. They have the better team, the Oil Kings.
Yeah, I like their jump, Dan. I do like their their work ethic. This is an Edmonton team that's only won 5 home games. They've only won 9 on the season. And we're exactly at the halfway point of the Western Hockey League season for the Oil Kings. They played 36 games. As I said, 9 wins, on pace for 18. Well, you know, they were 22 their first year and 29 last year. Nice face-off win.
Oil Kings,
and again, simple plays, get it out.
Were a playoff team last year. They won the tiebreaker after game 72. They went into Prince Albert, won a game in overtime to clinch their very first playoff spot. Were swept by Calgary. They've got an uphill climb if they're going to get into the playoffs this year in their third year. Puck goes down the ice. No icing this time. Morin back to get it. Morin tried to get it to Petrovic. Too hard for him to handle. Nickel able to hold it in. Here's a chance from the blue line and a shot. More of a pass maybe by Nichols. He was waiting for somebody to set up in front. Burns trying to get his stick on it in front for the deflection. There's a centering pass. Nickel and now make that Burns trying to get it on a backhand wraparound. Could not, and the puck goes down the ice once more. No icing here. Pesek in a battle back of the net. And there you saw how he won the battle by taking out his man and then moving the puck. And there he is now fighting off another check. Look at that Pesek there. So there would be another highlight for you to show, Bill, if you want, because I'm sure there's about 10 or 12 of those each night.
You probably get a half a dozen of those a period.
Here's Red Deer setting up for a sharp angle shot. Archer, back of the net it goes. Cambite's trying to get in there. Pesek again. Nice play around the boards. A great shift here for Pesek as he gets Edmonton out of trouble. Red Deer in over the blue line once more with 10 seconds remaining. On this near side, Weller tries to get a shot. That's tipped off the target. And the fans could put their teddy bears under their seats and wait for the next period. No goals in the first period. 14-5 shots in favor of Edmonton. And we go back to Dan Elliott at WHL Central.
Thank you very much, Dan. Coming up in the first intermission, Joey Kenner will be back to go inside the WHL. Mark Pesek of the Oil Kings, of course, the star defenseman. He will be our ringside guest with Brendan Parker. And then it is the Plays of the Week featuring Brandon captain Matt Calvert. All that is coming up next right here on the WHL on Shaw.
Championship Curling is live on Shaw. Catch the final of the 2010 Alberta Scotties presented by Williams Moving and Storage from the Calgary Curling Club. Tune in Sunday, January 10th at 6 p.m. Mountain to see the women battle it out for the Alberta crown.
Post Powertrain specializes in heavy-duty transmissions and differentials for the logging, mining, transportation, and trucking industries. They also offer a complete driveline facility for 4x4s and pickup trucks. Post Powertrain, drivelines, transmissions, differentials, and custom truck design.
PostNet Print and Business Center, offering graphics, printing, signs, banners, and courier solutions by Canada's top 3 shippers, FedEx, Canada Post, and Purolator. PostNet, Kelowna's exclusive FedEx shipping center. The gutter filter system from Sun Valley Window Cleaners. It seals out all types of debris, including leaves, pine needles, and seed pods. Invisible from the ground and no maintenance required. Water pours through it while everything else blows over the top. For more information, go to sunvalleywindowcleaners.com.
Welcome back to WHL Central in Vancouver. We are through one period of play in Edmonton between the Oil Kings and Rebels. Time now to go inside the WHL, and here for 5 good minutes is Joseph M. Kenward himself. What's going on?
Daniel, I'm doing just fine. Thank you very much.
It's very formal this evening.
Yes, indeed.
That's right. Our final inside the WHL before the holiday break. And, of course, a big part of the holidays, Joey, is the World Junior Championships in Canada, naming their team this past Wednesday. And the Western Hockey League sent 10 guys to the selection camp, 8 of them making it.
Yeah, and you know what? I thought all 10 legitimately had an opportunity to throw on that Hockey Canada jersey when camp started. And one of them probably had an outside chance to begin with, and that's Cody Eakin. Despite leading the WHL in goals right now with the Swift Current Broncos, he did not make the final cut. Scott Glennie from the Brandon Wheat Kings and a first-round pick of the Dallas Stars, he had as good a chance as anybody to be one of the starting forwards. playing alongside his fellow Wheat King forward Braden Shen, but he picked up a concussion in the final inter-squad game in Regina, so it was a tough break for him, but nonetheless, the 8 Western Leaguers that are going to represent our country at the World Juniors in Saskatchewan are going to do a bang-up job.
Absolutely. If you look at them in terms of the guys up front, we got Eberle, Kozin, Shen, McMillan, of course, in goal, Martin Jones. We'll get to that in a second. Then on defense, Tubert, Jared Cowan, and Hamonic, Travis Hamonic from the Moose Jaw Warriors. This is a guy who maybe get hidden in Moose Jaw a little bit, but all of a sudden, there's going to be a lot of people across this country who are finally going to understand the type of player that he is.
Well, no doubt about it, and then all they have to do is just look at the Moose Jaw Warriors statistics page and see that he, as a defenseman, is leading his team in scoring right now. 10 goals, 29 assists, 7 of those 10 have come on the power play. But he's a real responsible defenseman, Dan, in all 3 zones. You want to throw him out there on the power play? Go ahead. You want to put him as a shutdown blue liner against the team's top gun?
And that's what it looks like it's going to be used in the World Juniors.
Yeah, he's an ideal fit as a second-round pick of the New York Islanders. And you're right, maybe has flown under the radar a little bit in the past couple of years because he wasn't even on Hockey Canada's radar for the World Junior team last year as an 18-year-old. Jared Cowan's going to get his first crack playing for Canada at this tournament. Of course, last year he was hurt, but as a high prospect of the Ottawa Senators and a guy that's got Memorial Cup experience with the Spokane Chiefs, he was too good to leave off the list on the blue line.
Maybe a boost of confidence for him, too. You know, people have talked about him coming back from the injury. May not quite be 100%, but he's slowly getting there, and you know for him, this is a big deal.
Well, and he's such an intimidating presence on the ice. I don't think you'd want to be one of those small, shiftier forwards coming from some of the European teams against Cowan when he's ready to maybe throw a good solid hip check along the boards with you in the middle of it. So he'll be expected to play a physical role, as will the other D-man named to the roster, and he's the lone returning defenseman, Colton Tubert, the White Rock, BC native, and D-man for the Regina Pats, gets his second kick at the can to win back-to-back golds, and he'll be very, very happy to be playing not only in front of his hometown fans in Regina, but also those nasty Saskatoon Blades fans when the tournament hopefully winds down for Canada in a gold medal showdown.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Martin Jones ended up becoming one of the 2 goalies making the team. There's a big toss-up there. Everybody expected that Jake Allen would be the #1 guy. So if that's the case, Martin Jones comes in technically right now as the #2, but we've seen this happen before. A couple years ago, Jonathan Bernier was supposed to be the guy, and then Steve Mason just took over.
Or when the tournament was held here in Vancouver, Justin Pogge from the Calgary Hitmen was nowhere in the summer on Hockey Canada's radar. Came in, everybody thought it would be Carey Price's job to lose. It was. Justin Pogge came in, and he was phenomenal for Canada and just stood on his head. And for him, that's been the highlight of his hockey career right now. Still having a tough time getting to the show in the Anaheim Ducks system. But you know what? I think Martin Jones, whether he's the #1, I think he'll get playing time.
Yeah.
Whether at the end of the day he gets the bulk of the minutes over Allen remains to be seen.
And how about this stat? I really like this, checking this out. Jones and, of course, Kozin coming from the Calgary Hitmen. 7 straight years the Hitmen have put a player on the Canadian junior team that ties a record set by Spokane in the 97 straight year. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, you just look at the names in the Hitmen alumni that have played for Canada. Ryan Getzlaff did it back-to-back years. We mentioned Pogge playing for the tournament when it was held in Vancouver and winning it. You're right. They've got and Andrew Ladd's another one that comes to mind. Carl Alsner, of course.
Brissani. We'll name them all for everybody.
For sure, we got it. Very good.
What do you think? I mean, I know we're down to 30 seconds here, but in terms of this team going out there, not the big names maybe in the past, but expectations are high as usual. Will there be a 6th gold medal?
Well, I sure hope so, but it's going to be tough. Regardless of where they finish on the podium, watch this team very closely because I'll make a pretty bold prediction here.
Oh, yeah, I like this.
2 goalies, 13 forwards, 7 D-men. None of them return to play for Canada next year. Either they're ineligible because of their age, or they're so good that as 19-year-olds they'll be playing full-time in the National Hockey League next year. That's a very good roster to put on the ice. Let's hope they can put it all together in Regina and Saskatoon.
You're absolutely right. Should be a fantastic tournament. Thanks for doing this and enjoy your Christmas. We'll see you in the new year.
Thank you. You as well, Dan.
All right. I'll take a quick break. Lots more to come from here in Vancouver. You're watching the WHL on Shaw.
Shaw TV programming brought to you in part by the Acura RDX at Northwest Acura. Northwest Acura, 125 Crowfoot Way, Northwest.
The Safari Splash Zone Water Playground is complete at Village Square Leisure Centre. For details, visit calgary.ca/leisure centers or call 311.
WHL hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Friday, January 8th when the Vancouver Giants lay siege to the Alberta capital as they look to dethrone the Edmonton Oil Kings. WHL hockey, only on Shaw.
Truck Accessories does trucks, cars, SUVs, and vans. Chrome step bars, ladder racks, and box covers are just a small portion of their inventory. See us at 430A 40th Ave Northeast, just off Edmonton Trail, or check our website for more information at truckaccessories.ca.
The 32nd Annual Max AAA Tournament starts December 26, 2009. Tickets for all tournament games are available at Max convenience stores. Check out mymax.ca for your nearest store.
The City of Calgary's Southland Leisure Centre offers swimming, fitness, and recreation opportunities for all ages. For details, visit calgary.ca/leisure centers or call 311.
WHL hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Friday, January 8th when the Vancouver Giants lay siege to the Alberta capital as they look to dethrone the Edmonton Oil Kings. WHL hockey, only on Shaw.
The Nissan Altima Coupe is on the lot at Fish Creek Nissan. Fish Creek Nissan Sales and Servicing, 14750 McLeod Trail South.
5 minutes.
The Oil Kings out shooting Red Deer 14-5 in that first 20 minutes of play, but no score after one. One of those guys we could be talking about for next year's World Juniors is Mark Pysyk of the Edmonton Oil Kings. He's third on the team so far this season with 19 points in 29 games. Could be a possible future first-round pick in the NHL as well. And right now he is ringside back at Rexall Place with Brendan Parker.
Mark, is that the type of hockey game that this Edmonton Oil Kings team wants to play?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting the puck deep there at the start, and when they're in their own end, they're going to get there faster than we are, and we can change. So we can just keep going at them and wear them down that way.
Our color guy, Bill Williams, is raving about the play of yourself. How do you stay so calm as a young guy in the Western Hockey League?
I mean, I sat out a bit this year with my head, and I think when you see it from up in the skybox, you kind of get a different perspective, and you see that you got a little bit more time than you think out there. So I try to bring that into my game and just not to panic as much, and I think it's been all right, but I got to still keep working on it.
As a follow-up, do you at all think about the upcoming NHL draft that looms in the summertime?
Yeah, I mean, ever since you're a little boy, you want to go up there, put the jersey on, so it's always there in the back of your mind, but I think if you can put that in the back of your mind and worry about what the team's doing, then that'll be the ultimate success for myself.
Thanks for this.
Thanks a lot.
Mark Pysyk joining us. He is ranked second overall by Central Scouting. And let's go back to Dan Elliott.
All right, thank you very much, BP. He officially, by the way, Mark Pysyk takes over for the best smile in the WHL, taking over for Paul Postma, of course, with the one chiclet missing right there. Well, the Brandon Wheat Kings have been in the news a lot this week. First, they moved back into the CHL's top 10 ratings. They are ranked 10th in the nation. Second, Braden Shen was named to Canada's World Junior team. And finally, local boy Matt Calvert took top spot in this week's edition of the Plays of the Week.
On the left wing boards, the Hodder moves it into the middle, now into the zone. Here's Barnett, but it sends it across. Oh my! What a lovely goal! Great pass by JT Barnett. And the Giants have moved to within one.
Up the left wing, cross the blue line. Cowan coming in left circle. Cowan coming in. He's out there for a backhand. Shoots and scores! Jared Cowan does it himself.
Craig Fraser plays it off the boards to himself. Fraser, look out! Tyler!
stretch pass up the middle for Matt Calvert. In alone, Calvert with a move, shoots and scores! What a pass and what a finish. Brandon draws first blood here on the road. Right on the stick side of Stanford. Penalty is almost out to Hulak. Now it is, but a pass in front connected by the Wheaties, and they score. And it's Matt Calvert on a nice redirect, making it 2-0 Brandon. Shen immediately will have a chance to clear. Ooh, Calvert's got a step on Elliott and has a breakaway. Calvert shorthanded alone, shoots and scores! Matt Calvert now has 7 shorthanded goals on the year, and that is a first period natural hat trick to make it 3-0 Brandon.
Pretty good night for Matt Calvert. Having a decent night tonight. He's got 2 assists as his Wheat Kings lead Moose Jaw 4-1. The second, Shane Weeb has got his first in his first game as a Wheatie. By the way, Brandon's won 6 straight games. Prince Albert leading Saskatoon 2-0. Cameron McNeil have scored for the Raiders, who have the second best home record in the league. Elsewhere this evening, in Calgary 1-1 the second period between Regina and the Hitmen. The Pass trying to snap their losing streak. Matt Struby scored for them. Del Cowan has scored for the Hitmen. Joe Antilli, he's got the hat trick for the Kootenay Ice. They lead Lethbridge 4-1 after 20 minutes of play. 5 other games on this evening, 2 starting at 7 p.m. about 5 minutes time. Kamloops and Prince George, that's a game the Blazers need to win. Spokane, top teams in terms of total defense, have given up a league low 73 goals. They host Seattle. Big battle of the BC between the Chilliwack Bruins and Vancouver Giants. Giants have won 3 straight. Swift Current in Portland to take on the Winterhawks, having a great year, 3rd in the West. These 2 games starting about 35 minutes time, as well as the other game, Tri-City. They're looking for their 25th victory of the year. They're in Everett to take on the Tips. Remember, for all the information you need to know about your favorite team, player, what have you in the WHL, be sure to check out the league website at whl.ca. No score through 20 minutes of play in Edmonton. All the fans have had to check their teddy bears in their holster, just waiting to get them on the ice. Let's send it now back to Rexall Place in Edmonton and rejoin Dan and Bill. Guys?
Thank you very much, Dan. As you can see, the teddy bears are still in the possession of the fans. Hey, our producer is Dave Roberts. That's his sister, Donna, on the right in the red, and his nephew tucked in between is Jordan, and there's Holly on the left. You know she's going to have a holly jolly Christmas. They just got to get those bears on the ice. Anyway, I think a couple guys like Redicke and Pesic sure want to get those bears thrown in a hurry.
Yeah, we talked about them right off the top, and they didn't disappoint. Brent Redicke in the offensive zone. Here he comes, kaboom. That's the way you want him to forecheck. What a great job he does. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, watch the batter. Now he fights him off. Nugent-Hopkins got his hands full with Redicke. You know, that puck has to be translated right there. Nice little pass. You got to make it go from the wall to somebody. He does that. Now he's in his own zone, and he combines beautifully with Mark Pesic to gain control of this puck. Then we talked about Mark Pesic. This is what we're doing. We're talking about. We showed it during the period. It's so good to show it again. Hey, just common sense. He keeps it so simple. Nobody to go to. You realize even he was on his backhand. Just turns it, goes the other way. Watch how easily they come out of their own zone. Now, when a team goes in a 1-2-2 forecheck, when that defenseman behind the net made that pass, Robin Sudik had to jump on it, the guy it was going to, and he did that. He got that shot. He forced Kemper to make that save. Now you get some offensive play. This is the best chance that the Oil Kings had. Comiskey took it back high in the slot, clank off the post. See the referee wave that off again in perfect position. Oil Kings coming on. I think they very much deserved their edge of play, 14-5 shots on goal that period.
And as you look at those shots, keep in mind they've only outshot the opponent 10 times out of 36 games this year.
Shaw TV has been sponsored in part by the Genesis at Crowfoot Hyundai. Crowfoot Hyundai Sales and Servicing, located in the Crowfoot Center Northwest.
Postnet Print and Business Center, offering graphics, printing, signs, banners, and courier solutions by Canada's top 3 shippers, FedEx, Canada Post, and Purolator. Postnet, Kelowna's exclusive FedEx shipping center.
Waste Management is using the resources at our disposal to create enough green energy to power over 1 million homes. From everyday collection to environmental protection, Think green. Think waste management.
Northland Dodge Chrysler Jeep, one of Canada's largest auto dealers, offers a huge selection of new and used vehicles. Northland has every make and model as well as financing for any vehicle purchase. Northland Dodge Chrysler Jeep on 20th Avenue in Prince George. Check out northlanddodge.ca.
Post Powertrain specializes in heavy-duty transmissions and differentials for the logging, mining, transportation, and trucking industries. They also offer a complete driveline facility for 4x4s and pickup trucks. Post Powertrain, drivelines, transmissions, differentials, and custom truck design.
Wheel Pros have trained professionals to help find the wheels that fit your vehicle. They have a large stock of rims, mags, and wheel accessories for your ride, all in their new showroom, 4143 Edmonton Trail Northeast. The Wheel Pros.
The Western Hockey League would like to take this time to recognize its prestige partners. Cal Tire, a proud supporter of amateur athletes throughout Western Canada. Cal Tire, true service. And your local Husky and Mohawk retailer, home of Mother Nature's fuel. Naturally, it's Husky.
Season's greetings. It's the WHL on Shaw. It's our final game before the Christmas break. We thank you for joining us. Dan Russell alongside Bill Wilms at Rexall Place in Edmonton. Oil Kings and Rebels first meeting of the year. We got a fight 7 seconds in, and there's Cowan. Oh boy, they throw it. Cowan and McLeese. McLeese lands a right, and down goes Cowan. 7 seconds into period number 2, our second fight of the night. Those are the only things on the stat sheet. 2 fights, no goals, no minor penalties.
That was, I'm sure, teed up right at the face-off. They knew when they came out this was going to happen. Certainly shortly after that face-off. And Cowan and McLeese add a little spice to the game so far tonight that hasn't had a whole lot of scoring chances. We remain tied at 0, and the boxers go to work. You know, that's the one-timer that lands, and that's the only important thing in hockey fights.
Whoa.
No style points. It's all about landers.
Rocky Thompson enjoy the end of that fight? I'm kind of guessing he might.
Wasn't he one of the best?
Oh, yeah. Cameron McLeese from Lacombe, Alberta, in the penalty box, and you can't see it yet, but the Red Deer fighter is coming over to his dressing room, Cowan, as he's got seemingly something wrong with his hand, and go figure. We get Brendan to check that out as he goes right by Brendan Parker downstairs.
Interesting fact, I thought Robin Sudik from the Czech Republic, not known for fighting, taking fighting lessons this year from Rocky Thompson, assistant coach. Why not? Learn from the best.
Here's Morin, backhand, wide of the net, offsetting major penalties.
The Oil Kings McLeese and the Rebels Cowan fighting.
Here's Pesek fighting off a check to get it over to Michael Burns. Burns will send the puck in. Comes around this near side and down the ice. No icing. Jung staying in his trapezoid. Drew Nickel. Now out of their own zone. Here comes Warbowski. He sends the puck in deep. Kemper plays it around the boards, and it cannot be held in by Rashinsky, so back to go get it is Keegan Lowe, the son of Kevin Lowe, number 4 for the Oil Kings. Appropriate number. Brought in over the blue line by Red Deer, and Lowe able to break that up. He fell on the end boards. Red Deer with possession, coming back to the line. A shot seems to tip out of play as Archer's shot didn't reach the net. Let's go down to Brendan Parker.
Well, guys, as you saw, just narrowly missing a lot of the blood that was coming off the hand of Josh Cowan on that. It missed me, but the trainer was actually just trying to clear a lot of the blood away to find out exactly where and how deep that cuts were on his hand. He also had one on his lip as well, and it was interesting to watch the benches. You talked about momentum earlier. You see a fight like that. Drew Nickel comes over from the Edmonton Oil Kings bench and says, wow, to the rest of his players. They certainly fired up after that one.
TJ Foster tries to gain the blue line, cannot. Back the other way, here's Jordy Deagle getting a little bit of room on the outside for a backhand, and a rebound is tapped just wide of the net. Turner Elson going to the net, got his stick on it, but put it wide of the goal. Ferguson takes a shot. That bounces to the corner. Archer pinches. Back to Elson it goes. There's a backhand centering pass. It does not reach the front of the net. Elson plays it high along the glass. Now Archer giving chase over on the far side. Now it is controlled by Larocque. Behind the net, Ferguson now has it as he tries to center for Red Deer. That too is intercepted. And back the other way for the Oil Kings comes Foster as he gives chase in that corner. Going in front of the net was Prue. There's a wraparound attempt. And nobody there to get their stick on it. Rashinsky tried to, but he couldn't. Remember, it's Teddy Bear toss night, so the fans starting to, I'm sure, get a little impatient with those Bears in the hand. They want to see those Bears litter the ice. There's a shot that goes wide. Taken by Dalton Seawalk. Not for a shortage of shots. 14 of them so far for the Oil Kings. Not all of them dangerous. 14-6 the shot margin right now. Oil Kings out of their own zone as we near the 3-minute mark of the second period. Back to go get it is Weller. Around the wall it goes and down the ice. This should be icing on Red Deer.
14 shots on Darcy Kemper. He's been perfect on all 14. A Minnesota draft 09. They took him in the 6th round. Again, a big guy, 6'4". You know that when he goes down, there's still a lot of net that he can cover with his upper half of his body. And that's talking about, you know, being tall, being big. He's a little low there, but he's fighting for that puck. Now he's got to get real upright. That top part of his body's got to be large. And he's been perfect, as I said, on all 14 shots tonight. 6 shots on goal for Red Deer on Torrey Jung going the other way.
Shot on the face-off, does not reach the net. Pesic plays the puck down low. St. Croix, sharp angle shot. That stopped or it hit the post. Maybe, I think it could have hit the helmet, actually, of Kemper. We'll see maybe on a replay here in a second, but that was a sharp angle shot there for the Oil Kings. And now Cambite starts back the other way. Pesic intercepts there. Here comes St. Croix in over the line. There's a drop. Oh, it is offside. We couldn't hear the whistle up here. Offside in the neutral zone.
One of the things I think that attracted Michael St. Croix to this league as much as anything, he says, is that great scholarship program that they've offered. His brother Chris, 14 years older than him, Dan, I remember when he played for Kamloops, and he was one of the guys that was a recipient of that. 253 scholarships to 64 different institutions this year. And what about that nice touch by the Everett Silvertips, the late Jordan Misselbacker, that was tragically taken from us. His scholarship was transferred to his brother, who is at Utah State. A terrific gesture.
Nugent Hopkins in front of the net, and a backhand shot is stopped by Jung as Haber went to the net. And we're going to get penalties here. I'm not sure if they'll be offsetting or not, but there was a nice little pass forward by Nugent Hopkins to Haber that set up that scoring chance.
And he reads the play so well. Watch what Nugent Hopkins does in biding himself a little bit of time. He's going to take it a little wide. Wait, and there he puts it right over to Haber. And the thing about Nugent Hopkins, even on a pass like that, well, you better be ready. You have to be ready for that pass at any time. Bounced off Haber's stick ever so slightly, and once he didn't have control of it, he had nothing else to do but go to his backhand.
I thought there might be a penalty or two handed out there the way the referee was pointing after the pushing and shoving, but they stay at full strength. We have not had a goal. We have not had a power play in this game. We do have an Oil King hobbling back up to his feet. That was Redicke, and he then tries to throw a check in the neutral zone, missed his man, so Redicke stays out there, but he's favoring one of his legs. Number 9 for the Oil Kings. Held in. Redicke has it bounce over top his stick. Here's Nugent Hopkins pouncing on the puck. Haber with him. Also out there for the Rebels is Coetzee as they put Haber on this top line. Coetzee throws a check in the corner, but the Oil Kings have it. And Pesic accepts that pass from Nickel. Pesic in over the line, a shot right in the belly of Kemper, and he holds on. More pushing and shoving, a little bit anyway, after the whistle.
They say that Brett Redicke might be at Grand Rapids in the American Hockey League next year. The wing like, you know, where he's at in his development, but when you talk about trade deadlines and you talk about guys available and not to rush any kind of a situation here in Edmonton, but wouldn't he help a lot of WHL contenders as a top 6 forward? I'd have to think he'd be somebody that there may be some phone calls about. Hey, is this game at a penalty?
No. No goals, no power plays. Just the 2 fighting, offsetting majors twice. And so far, no Bears.
No, and I don't think they'd probably loosen the grip on the Bear a little bit too by now.
Well, the Bears hold their position a little bit better when they're tossed early. If they're in their sweaty palms all night, sometimes the Bears get a little bit messed up. In other words, I want to see a goal soon. I promise not to go on a diatribe, but you know, these teams, it's 3 years since they've been in the league, Edmonton Oil Kings, and both of them are able to say they got a winning record against each other. Edmonton is 6-4-4 against Red Deer, and the Rebels are 8-5-1 against the Oil Kings.
There you go.
Winning record for both teams against each other all time. You math experts out there, you can figure that out, because I can't.
What a system.
That's weird.
Last time I looked at the National Hockey League, I think one of the conferences at every team were at was at 500. Somebody said you need about 540 now to be considered, 540 winning percentage to be considered successful.
500 used to be a nice benchmark. You know, you're not a great one, but you know, you knew you had a pretty solid year if you had a 500 year. That puck bouncing out of play at the penalty box, and we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone. 5 minutes and 42 seconds has been played so far in this period.
You know, the Rebels, Dan, have 10 games till the trade deadline. They've got Edmonton 4 times. We've talked about that a couple times in our broadcast tonight. They play Kootenay twice, Lethbridge once, and Swift Current once. That's 8 games in the Eastern Conference, and you know, again, if they can get on even a bigger role than they are right now, they, you know, I think it's important for them to make the playoffs.
There's a chance in front of the net, and a good save by Kemper. And you can see they were pushing and shoving afterwards. Iwanek right in the middle of that. Iwanek has been in a fight already tonight. Not a bad chance there for Edmonton. They got the puck into a pretty good scoring area.
Yeah, well, they get it, you know, from the side of the net, and they try to get people in front, try to find a seam down low around the net, see if there's one there, cut into that area. Well, you get a good position. You get some, oh, there's a good box out. Nice job by the Red Deer Rebels, Adam Cambice, to make sure nobody gets to that puck. You know, when pucks are in that area, boy, you got to box out. Take a look at that. Some pushing, some shoving, get out of there. It's all about positioning and how you position around the net to defend your goaltender.
Redicke goes in to take the face-off for Edmonton, offsetting minor penalties. Our first 4-on-4 of the hockey game as the Oil Kings. Iwanek goes to the box, and for Red Deer in the penalty box, it is Cambice. So Pesek controls it over to Nickel. Nickel gets the puck down low. Redicke trying to get a stick on it. Now back of the net, Burns. It is roughing minors that they announce here as Pesek from the line takes a shot that's knocked down. Redicke's in front, can't get the stick on the puck. And back the other way for the Red Deer Rebels is Alex Petrovic. Pass towards Nugent Hopkins, who is going to the bench on a line change.
He had lost his stick. He had nothing to take that pass with.
There's Pesek now. Pesek and Petrovic both out here on the 4-on-4 situation, and Pesek comes in, gets that shot by Petrovic, and on to Kemper, who makes the save.
Yeah, you talked about it earlier. That's one thing that the scouts and obviously the Oil Kings want Pesek to do is rush that puck, get involved in the play a little bit. By the way, Pesek at 17 years old was the only 17-year-old defenseman to play with Team WHL against Russia in that Subway Series. And what a nice interview with that young man Brendan Parker did at the end of the period. It was very classy.
Well, and
knows
also
where he's at, and he said he's thinking about that draft.
And very enlightening how he said when he was out with his 7-game injury, he came up this high where we're sitting, and he saw maybe you don't have to be as fast to move the puck. Maybe the game is a little bit slower than it looked at ice level. I thought that was quite astute for him to say that.
Well, the good players do that. There's a distortion of time and space. Take all the good athletes. You know, I mean, things don't happen quite as fast for them on the ice as it does for somebody else. And he's one of those guys. He's special.
Oil Kings win the face-off. Here's Foster trying to work his way off the boards. Staying with them, there's Borrego. Good job by Borrego as the puck goes to Jordy Deagle, native of Lethbridge. Coming out of his own zone, Deagle gets the puck only to line as it's poked off the stick of Brett Ferguson. Oil Kings out of their own zone with just another fight breaking out right in front of the penalty box, which means these guys aren't going to have far to go. That is Borrego and Rashinsky. Rashinsky for Edmonton. Rashinsky, 18 years old, from Edmonton. Borrego, also 18 years old, from Edmonton. So these kids have seen each other over the years.
Yeah, you can tell how mad they get in fights when they give each other a little pat. Rashinsky, you can see wearing that big C. That's 3 fights on the ice. You know, for Aaron Borrego, you got to look at him in the box there for Red Deer. +8. He's the best of all Rebel defensemen. And the reason I mention that is they acquired him from Kelowna when they lost Nick Bell with a fractured ankle, and Petrovic was out at the time as well. And when they acquired Aaron Borrego, it was a stopgap. You'd almost think, you know, this is an extra guy. Watch the pad coming here, guys. There you go. Nice little strap, boys. And I think Borrego's just done a terrific job to come into this organization and have the best plus-minus by Christmas time on the Oil King team. I think that's a great tribute to him, or to the Rebels, I'm sorry.
I'm just wondering if these two combatants were teammates somewhere in minor hockey, because they seem to know each other quite well when that fight ended, as Bill pointed out. And that's our 3rd fight of the night. And we've had the roughing offsetting penalties as well, so no goals, no power plays. And I might as well say it now because I said it earlier. I mean, with Edmonton's power play at home, I couldn't believe it today when I saw they've only scored 5 power play goals in this building all season on 71 chances.
Is that about 7%?
Yeah. I mean, you'd think that all teams would be at least into double figures. I mean, we saw, I think, Red Deer the other day, and I thought, well, they have had 17. Now, that seems like a lot compared now to the Oil Kings. And as for these offsetting majors that we've seen, again, we have to remind ourselves it's the first meeting of the year. They're meeting again tomorrow. And we know the rivalry is there, but here we are this close to Christmas, and these two teams very close in proximity, just meeting for the first time. Cambite's trying to take a pass. There's a pass in front of the net. That was intended for Seawalk, but he couldn't get a clean shot away. Cambite's slow to get up. Check that. That is Elson slow to get up, and he gets to the bench area. There's a hit just inside the blue line. Back in the Edmonton zone as the puck was up the ice. Nugent Hopkins trying to get around his man, going in on goal. Nice pass and a shot. That is stopped by Jung. What a pass by Nugent Hopkins again. 2-on-2 for the Oil Kings as they crisscross in over the line, and a shot on goal is stopped as Redicke tests Kemper. Chances in this game at both ends. Mark it down.
Yeah, Dan, Nugent Hopkins, we talked about where he goes with that puck. You got to be alert and ready at any time. Willie Coetzee knows that. He's been playing with him enough times. He knows that this drop pass is going to come the other way. Now, this is what the Oil Kings do, going the opposite way. Right after this play there. Look at where that puck goes. Right between 2 sliding players and a back-checking forward. I mean, he had Ryan Nugent Hopkins, Dan, missed 2 defenders on that pass and a back-checking forward to put it right on the stick of Willie Coetzee.
That was pretty. Petrovic backhands it to the line. Pesek holds it in, puts it back behind the net. Weller chasing after it, tips it out to center, but Redicke has it. Comes over here now to Pesek. Pesek is from nearby Sherwood Park. Puck shot in. And now we've got the whistle blowing. Is this our penalty? Did the goalie by chance come out of the trapezoid? I'm thinking maybe he did. I haven't seen that yet on Shaw this year. We'll have to wait, but the way the referee was signaling the penalty looked like maybe trapezoid infraction.
Well, if we get a look at this, if it is, you're going to see the skate of Darcy Kemper about 6 inches over the trapezoid line as he plays that puck. I gotta believe that's what it is. The signal that the referee was given, turning his hands in a circle, saying, hey, anybody on the ice can serve it. But I'm pretty sure that is the call.
I thought he was saying it was just crazy. Yeah. I didn't know that that meant anybody can serve it on the ice. Over there serving it is Nugent Hopkins, so it's clearly on the goalie. We'll just wait for the announcement to come here. So it's the first power play of the hockey game for Edmonton. And we already told you that they have...
Darcy Kemper, 2 minutes for playing the puck outside the trapezoid.
There it is. I don't even know how to write that down, playing it outside the trapezoid. A trapezoid infraction. 22nd power play in the league, 10.8%. And the PK for Red Deer ranks number 14. So it's our first special team situation of the night. And Rashinsky trying to get the puck towards the net. The PA announcer urging the Oil Kings on. Saying if we can get a goal here, let's see the Teddy Bears. Back to get it is Hulukov. Tyler Hulukov from Castlegar. Now Comiskey in over the line, but no further. Chopped down the ice by Red Deer. And there's already a minute 20 gone in this penalty, so the time just ticking away, and the Oil Kings really haven't set up to do much.
Well, you want to be patient, but you also want to have some urgency, and when you get that puck down where it is right now, urgency in that zone, Edmonton, get it back, get in a scoring position, get it in somebody's hands that control the puck.
Burns trying to get it to Redicke, who comes in over to this near side to get it. Now we got another penalty being called. This is going to be a hook, and I think it'll be a two-man power play for 14 seconds. It's going over to the box is Archer. He's complaining about the call, but it'll be another Red Deer penalty.
You see the call, you see the hook. Again, in the corner, Archer goes in that zone to try to help out. Coach not very happy about it. Watch the, there's no doubt the captain's going to spend 2 minutes in the box, and again, you know, it's a small opportunity, but 14 seconds with two-man advantage in the offensive zone can sometimes be a huge amount of time.
Well, it looks like it might be, because Pesic's able to keep that puck in. Here's a shot, scores! All right, Edmonton, launch those Bears! Red Deer won the face-off, but couldn't get the puck out of their own zone, and that's why we have a Bear explosion at Rexall Place.
You know, so important as we talked about winning that face-off with 14 seconds left at a two-man advantage. And Brett Redicke does a good job of going in and winning this face-off badly for, well, actually, he lost it. How did that puck end up coming back? They tried to clear it. That's what it was. Pesic stopped it. There's a shot from the point. Lane Werbowski makes no mistake about it. We look at that again. You see the face-off is won by the Rebels, and they just try to get it out of their zone, and it's blocked and kept in perfectly by Pesic. Back to Werbowski, and the Teddy Bears are on the ice.
It's always a thrill for the kid to score, and in this case, not so much a kid, because Werbowski's 18 years old, but it's his first of the year, and he can say his first is an Edmonton Oil King and at Rain Teddy Bears. 10:50 the time of the goal. It was a two-man advantage, so they're still going to have another power play to work with here when the Teddy Bears are cleared up. Teddy Bear toss night. The fans bring new stuffed animals. They toss it on the ice. This goes on all over the league. The toys collected are donated to 630 Ched, Santa's Anonymous, and the Edmonton Food Bank. And we congratulate the Oil Kings for this promotion and all the teams around the league. The Hitman fans hold the record with over 22,000 teddy bears tossed last year. And this is how the goals scored, with Pesic getting it to Werbowski, and the Bears will fly.
You know, Dylan Ruck just at the side of the net there provided just enough screen. The fake shot, that I think brought the Red Deer Rebels back into a little bit more defense in behind, in front of the goaltender, and Werbowski just blasted it through everybody.
Did you get a bear down there, Brendan?
Test drive the powerful and versatile.
Oh, we gotta wait for Brendan's microphone to get open. Hang on there just a second. Okay, there you go, Brendan.
I think I'm alive. Now, I just got hit with a teddy bear, but hopefully no more falling on my head. Let's let Lane Werbowski. Tell me about that goal, first one of the season.
It feels great. You know, it's great to get it in this game. It's a fun cause for all the kids who are going to get all these animals. It's a great thing.
What does that feel like when that puck goes in, not only to see your team go up by one, but all the Bears flying on the ice? What's that feel like?
Oh, it's great. It's special. It's cool to see all the fans come out and support and bring all the stuffed animals. It's a great thing.
Oh, let's talk about what it does for this team now. Do you lose a little momentum with the big delay now, or are you still fired up?
No, we got to keep going, and hope we still got the power play here. Hopefully we can get another one.
I'll let you go and pick up some of those teddy bears.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, guys, let's go upstairs to you.
You can see the players helping out in the cause here as they gather them. Oh, there's a big one. Oh, I like that one. That's a big teddy bear for some youngster in the Edmonton area. And you know, I mentioned all the teams doing this. I should mention Red Deer, the visitors here. They're doing something a little different than some of the other teams, and I also think that's a great idea. They have the fans bring toques and mittens or gloves, and they put them in a bag and they toss them that way as well, and they take them to the shelters in the Red Deer area. So, you know, good on all these teams. You've seen some good stories over the years, Bill. I remember that one game you worked where there was a disallowed goal and all the teddy bears came flying on the ice. That was premature bear tossing.
Yeah, I've seen it all. I mean, I've seen goals that didn't go in, goals that were disallowed. Interesting here, I've seen in the past, but maybe it's maybe not that many bears on the ice, but the visiting team, in this case Red Deer, I've seen coaches take them to the dressing room because of the delay. But it's, you know, as nice as anything is to see all the, look at the team picture being taken there by the Edmonton Oil Kings behind that stack of bears. It's kind of cool.
Back with more from Edmonton on Teddy Bear Toss Night right after this.
The WHL, the leading supplier to the NHL for over 40 years. More WHL players are selected each year in the NHL entry draft than any other league in the world. The WHL, your game, your future.
From compacts to crossovers, the Mazda 3, engineered for handling, acceleration, response time, and safety, including Mazda's patented Triple H construction. Kelowna Motors for Mazda, on Enterprise at Banks Road. Zoom, zoom.
A first-class hotel just got even better. The Kelowna Ramada Hotel and Conference Center now features brand new rooms for your comfort. And you can still count on the same attentive customer service to ensure an unforgettable experience. The Ramada Hotel and Conference Center. Reserve your stay today.
Welcome back to WHL Central in Vancouver. While they clean up the ice at Rexall Place in Edmonton, we'll fire through some scoreboards for you, but it was Lane Werboski for the Oil Kings getting the goal, his first of the season on the power play, and as a Edmonton Oil King, he was traded 1 month ago tonight from the Tri-City Americans for a 4th-round pick. All right, let's run through the scores for you. 9 other games this evening. Brandon Wheat Kings have been good. They look like they're on their way to winning their 7th straight. They're up 4-1 on Moose Jaw. Matt Calvert had a pair of assists. Shane Weeb, his first game as a Wheat King. He scores. He's happy to be there in his hometown. Prince Albert Raiders are up 4-2 over the Saskatoon Blaze. They look like they're en route to that victory as well for their 15th home win of the season. It's 1-1 in Calgary between the Pats and Hitman. Del Cowan for the Hitman. Matt Struby scoring for the Pats. Joe Antilla, he's got a hat trick for the Kootenay Ice. They lead Lethbridge 5-1 that game in the second period of play. Elsewhere this evening, how about that? We talked about Shane Weeb, happy to be in Brandon. How about Jordan DePape? He went the other way to Kamloops. First game with the Blazers, he's got 2 goals. That's a great start for his career in Kamloops. They lead Prince George 3-1. Spokane is hosting the Seattle Thunderbirds this evening. Spokane does not give up a lot of goals. In fact, they've only given up 7-3 all year long. Elsewhere, Vancouver, Chilliwack just getting underway, as well as the Swift Current and Portland game. And one other game that'll be going on tonight, Tri-City is in Everett to take on the Tips. All right, time now to send it back to Rexall Place, where Brendan Parker is joined by Red Deer head coach Jesse Wallen.
Thank you very much, Dan. Let's go downstairs and Brendan Parker.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, the Teddy Bear Toss allows us the opportunity to talk to head coach Jesse Wallen. Jesse, obviously, instant reaction to the power play goal and still one to kill off here.
Sorry, I can't hear.
Sorry, just the reaction to the power play goal, and I guess still some time on the clock to kill another one off.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, we take a penalty on our penalty kill there and won the face-off with 14 seconds to kill 5-on-3, win the draw clean. That puck's got to go down the ice. It turned turn the puck over and ends up in our net. And, but we got to respond here. We got to kill this penalty off. It's a big kill for us, and then we got to get to work. We're not generating enough because we're not moving our feet enough.
Does this actually help a team when you can stop the momentum of them, maybe regroup the players and get your message through?
Well, give the opportunity to get the message through. We'll see how we respond to it, but no, it is what it is. We gotta get our feet going. We need a big kill here, and we gotta get our feet going and get to work here.
Appreciate this.
Thanks.
Dan.
Okay, Bill, you're going to show that highlight again?
Well, this is exactly what Jesse Wallen was talking about. It's Cullen Morin that can't get the puck out. Watch this face-off. It's won by Cambites. He's for Red Deer. He gets it, stays real good position. That puck there has to get out. Where does he put it? Right on Pesik's stick. And he throws it over to Wabowski, and it's kaboom in the back of the net. And boom goes the dynamite on that one. But that's a case where, you know, you get a guy in the face-off circle like Cambites do such a great job in winning that draw. Cullen Morin just a little sloppy in where it was going and couldn't get it out. Now, you got to remember, that second penalty that Archer took to put him 2-man short, Edmonton scored 6 seconds after that, so they still have 1 minute and 54 seconds left in a power play with Colin Archer, one of the defensemen that does a lot of penalty killing for Red Deer still in the box.
And Cullen Morin, who didn't clear the puck, is a 20-year-old who's played 197 games in the league, so that's extra frustration. Usually the 20-year-olds will move that puck down the ice. By the way, the Edmonton Oil Kings are starting their second half tonight. It's a 72 game. Well, last year it was a 73 game schedule for them because they played the tiebreaker, but they have played 36 games, so this officially starts the second half for the Oil Kings, and they take the 1-0 lead on the night where they've outshot Red Deer 20-7, and I think that's the other thing Jesse Wallen said, that their feet, his Red Deer Rebels, not moving very much, and he's quite concerned about them creating some scoring opportunities. They announced the goal.
Well, that's a tough PA system to listen to all night, isn't it?
To number 3, Mark Pesek.
All right.
Well, I just hope the next PA announcer they hire somebody with some enthusiasm. Here's a break the other way. Cambites trying to get free while short-handed. Throws it in front. Elson shot and Jung gets a piece of it. There'll be a penalty as well. Looks like Lowe took down his man, and there goes the Oil Kings power play. But Red Deer, after the teddy bear timeout, so to speak, come back with a pretty good scoring chance. In fact, I'd say maybe their best chance of the night.
I think this is Keegan Lowe, rather, I should say, getting caught at the blue line. It's a 2-on-1, and this is Cambites. What a nice game he's had. You saw the face-off that he won. Does a real nice job getting that puck to a breaking teammate that went hard to the net. That was Elson. The penalty on that play turns this now into a 4-on-4 situation with the Rebels still 1 minute and 22 in their penalty. Well, that's good effort by Cambites. I think he's been great here tonight.
Pesek gets the puck to Foster. Second time tonight we've been in a 4-on-4 situation.
I think if Wallen had all his guys move their feet the way Cambites has, even on that play, I think he'd be pretty happy.
Kutsi overskates the puck, so then we see the Oil King fall over the blue line. So both teams having miscues on their own. That was two good players too, Kutsi and Redicke. So Kutsi puts the puck in over the line once more. Trying to get it out is Foster. Here's Kutsi from the deep slot. Drop pass, shot up high, and Jung has it. He drops it quickly to keep the clock moving. The clock under 8 minutes to go in the second period. And congrats to the crew that picked up all those teddy bears pretty quickly here in Edmonton. There have been delays around the league a lot longer than that one. Pesek shoots the puck in. Kemper stays in that trapezoid. He couldn't be more in it. He was right halfway between the two little diagonal lines, having been penalized on that call earlier in this period. In fact, that led to the two-man advantage, where it was the first of the penalties for the two-man advantage and the only goal of the hockey game so far. Here's Witt from the line. Petrovic trying to get a shot away. Shot down low, and Deagle trying for the rebound off Ferguson's shot. Red Deer now on the power play for half a minute. Deagle can't get the puck, however. Red Deer, Witt holding it in, trying to get it over to Petrovic. Their power play 9th ranked in the WHL, so that's pretty good. in that corner. Nugent Hopkins trying to come off the corner boards as he slides past a couple of Oil Kings. There's Petrovic, shot, save, rebound. Nugent Hopkins couldn't get the shot away. Petrovic back to Morin, back to Petrovic. Penalty almost over. Nugent Hopkins tries that pass over on the far side there for Ferguson. Didn't quite click. Ferguson to Nugent Hopkins. Shot! Did that hit the post? Boy, I thought it might have even gone underneath. For a moment there, thought that puck was in. And Nugent Hopkins, I think they should look at that again. Nugent Hopkins, though, doesn't. He knows it hit the crossbar. Just up here for a moment, I thought it might have hit the back bar.
And that play looked so innocent when he got this pass, Nugent Hopkins. It didn't look like this was this much of a threat. Look at him stop it with his skate, and look at that quick release. He has his stick anchored by his skate behind it to cushion it. Watch the skate action here, folks, how he cushions it beautifully and then snaps it. I mean, there he knows he hit the crossbar. You see the reaction. Wow, that's another weapon that man has. Did you see that quick release there?
Yes, and there's a wraparound at the side of the net. Jung holding his ground nicely. Was trying to wrap it in there was Scheidel. Jung, who's faced all 13, good down there on the wraparound attempt.
Yeah, Scheidel, you know, they do have high expectations for Lane Scheidel, number 11 for Red Deer. He was a 21 goal scorer in midget. Take another look at the play. Watch the release. Like, I mean, look at how he snaps that puck, top corner. That, folks, in that area, that release is National Hockey League quality right there. You don't get any guys that do it a whole lot better than that.
And yet the score remains 1-0. That close from being a tie game. Teams at full strength. Under 6 minutes to go in the second. Scheidel trying to play it down low. Couldn't get the puck over there for Seawalk. Out it comes to the neutral zone. Larocque. Up it goes. In over the blue line for Red Deer is Cam Bites. Shot stopped by Jung. And he holds on.
Last 3 games, or the last game rather, that I think Torrey Jung played against Regina, that snapped that ridiculous winless streak. He was the number 3 star that night. In fact, Torrey Jung's last 2 games played, he's 93 save percentage. And I think for Edmonton to have any shot at being really successful from here to the end of the season, Torrey Jung has to be hot and stay hot. Remember Torrey Jung last year won 20 games, Dan. He lost 20, and then he got in that playoff against Calgary. He was terrific in that 4-game Calgary sweep. It was awesome.
On the line, the puck shot behind Jung. I mean, that save percentage the last couple of games pretty good. I know prior to the win against Regina, the previous 10 games, no wins and 40 goals a game. So that's changed, and he's playing good there. Look at that save, and the rebound is poked just wide of the net. Back out here to the blue line. Here's Witt trying to hold it in. He did for a moment, but the Oil Kings are out of their own zone. Led by Foster, in over the line. Foster's shot, that's turned aside by Kemper. And we should say Kemper's numbers have been pretty good lately as well. I mean, he's had 10 straight starts and just 21 goals against during the last 10 games. At 283 shots he's faced, and he's only allowed the 1 here tonight, and that was on the 2-man advantage. And he's faced 22 shots.
Yeah, Kemper, one of only 2 Western Hockey League goalies drafted last year, the other being Adam Morrison from the Blades.
Kemper is Minnesota Wild property. Jung to Pesic. Pesic hit, but does he get bounced off the puck? No. He's going to freeze it instead. Seems that he will, although the referee in no particular rush to blow this one down. Finally they do. And we'll get a face-off in the Oil King zone.
Been a real roller coaster 6 months for Willie Kuster, and it started by a little bit of a downtrend when he wasn't drafted by the National Hockey League, and then a nice uptrend when he got signed by the Detroit Red Wings, and then he got picked to play in the Subway Series. That was a high, and then he wasn't invited to the World Junior Camp, and a bit of a low. And I think for Willie Kuster now, the biggest thing that could happen for him is to take his team into the playoffs, and that would be a nice end to his junior career, because I'm not sure he would be back next year as a 20-year-old. So I'm sure Kuster would love to see the Rebels make the playoffs, which they've missed the last 2 years.
He has a 5-game point scoring streak coming into this game, but with his team off the score sheet, that so far is in jeopardy. As the Oil Kings, St. Croix tries to get it out. St. Croix is heading for the the U17 tournament for the second straight year. He played as a 15-year-old when Bill and I were in Port Alberni with the Shaw crew last year. There's a turnover and a chance for Red Deer and a shot, score! Game's all tied. Coetzee, there it is. That point scoring streak, it stays alive. It's at 6, and more importantly, the game is tied 1-1.
It looks like it's Nugent Hopkins, Dan, forcing this turnover. That's the forecheck. He hasn't got the biggest body, but when he went in, he created that turnover that Willie Coetzee capitalized on. This is the turnover there. Puts it right on Coetzee's stick. He has enough time. Beautiful head up. He knew exactly where he was going to put that. And again, the combination of Coetzee, Nugent Hopkins collects Red Deer right back in this game.
Unassisted by number 19, Willie
16th goal of the year, unassisted at 16-10. So we're at 1-1 now. And surprisingly, not one teddy bear hit the ice when Coetzee scored.
No, they emptied him. They hung on to him. They were going to make sure they were going to empty him.
No Red Deer fan brought one to go the other way. Rebels on it again from the line. Barreto can't get the shot away. Good job out at the blue line by McLeese to block that shooting lane. Ferguson gobbles it up on the far side. Here's Barreto once more, now to Archer. Archer, quick shot, goes wide. I like the way Barreto and Archer play at the back, especially inside the blue line. They've seen them twice here this week, and they've been having some pretty nice chemistry, those two defensemen. Now they're going to have to play defensively as Sudik brings the puck in over the line. A shot tipped out of play nicely as the one defenseman comes over, gets his stick on it, and that was Barreto.
Well, you talked about Archer and Barreto, Dan. The biggest compliment for Colin Archer when he got that captaincy given to him by the coaching staff. You know, Jesse Wallen played with Captain Steve Yzerman at Detroit, arguably the best captain in a long time to play in the National Hockey League. And, you know, Archer says, hey, for my coach to see that kind of leadership in me when he's already played with a guy like Stevie Yzerman, he's taken that very, very special. And he's done a really nice job as captain for this team. There's another penalty.
Yes, and it's going to be an Edmonton power play as we see a trip being called here. And with 2:41 to go in the period, skating over to the box is Dalton Seawalk.
Yeah, Seawalk had his season really delayed with mono. Here he comes in. He's number 14. He's there with his stick. That's obviously his first line of defense. We talked about active sticks. But once you've got your stick and you've caused, you know, the concern for the guy with the puck, you've got to follow that up with your body. He doesn't. He stays with the stick and takes his man to the ice, and hence the power play.
Third power play of the night as Lowe passes it to Rabowski. Low down low to Burns. Burns makes a move, still has the puck, tries to get it back to the line, but that's intercepted. But again, Red Deer doesn't clear it. Rabowski back of the net. Burns down to Redicke. There's an interception. And Cambite starts back the other way shorthanded. Drop pass and a quick shot by Elson. Reiser goes over top the net. And the Oil Kings will start back. Elson slides over like almost a player trying to steal second base. Got the slide and he got his skate on the puck, and it sends the Oil Kings all the way back with 1:10 left in their power play. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the second period of a 1-all tie. Oh, and the goaltender Kemper almost has, in fact, did have it knocked down. His clearance as St. Croix got his stick on it. Oil Kings kept to the corner here. St. Croix down there. So is Dylan Ruck, number 11. 16 is TJ Foster. He's digging after the puck. As it squirts free, it comes back out here to Halukov. Halukov getting it over to the other side to Pesic. Sharp angle shot, almost bounced in front for Ruck, but he couldn't get that one to land on his forehand. Oil Kings to the line. Halukov, quick shot, save, and rebound right there! And there again! There it is! 2-1 Oil Kings. Dylan Ruck bangs it home, a power play goal.
Dan, this is some good work. I think it's Cameron McLeese. He's in all kinds of trouble or traffic, makes that puck go back to the point, and I love the way Dylan Ruck heads to the front of the net looking for garbage. You got to be a garbage collector. This is the pass I'm talking about. Great effort. There's the shot. First puck pursuit, that's Michael St. Croix. The second one, he couldn't catch Dylan Ruck. Take a look at the Rebels trying to get in that paint area to help save the day, and if Weller stops that puck, gets it underneath him, he's in real trouble, but he couldn't, and Ruck makes him capitalize on it. It's 2-1. Hey, what power play are we talking about? Not working real well.
5 power play goals all season at home, 2 in this period.
The assist to number 18, Michael St. Croix, and at number 5.
Some buildings we go to, we have trouble hearing the PA announcement.
Yeah.
That's not a problem tonight. 18:50, the time of the goal. Ruck, the goal scorer. Ruck getting his 3rd goal of the season. Last year in midget, he had 31 goals for the Beardies Blackhawks. Puck goes all the way down the ice. That'll be icing called on the Oil Kings with 23 seconds remaining.
Yeah, this goal that Ruck scores, it's certainly a case where, you know, the guy that made, I think, the most important pass of the bunch was Cameron McLeese out of traffic, but you only give 2 assists. If you gave 3, that would be a big one there. And again, maybe you get one more look. This pass through 3 white-shirted players, that's a shot by Lukov. There's a first puck pursuit by St. Croix, and the follow-up by Ruck, but that doesn't happen unless that pass has gotten back to the point by Cameron McLeese. Good job.
So the Oil Kings just have to kill off 15 more seconds, and they'll go to the dressing room with a lead after 2 periods, something that's only happened for them 12 times this year. And they've won 7 of those games, and that's the way it's going to be. So the late power play goal at 18:50 by Dylan Ruck. 2 goals in that period on Kemper, both on the power play, and we go to the second intermission, and with that, WHL Central's Dan Elliott.
If you are behind the
Thank you very much, Dan. Yeah, the Edmonton Oil Kings power play finally clicking. Just 17 power play goals in the first 36 games. They're a league worst in terms of power play percentage, but they pick up 2 in that second period. Well, coming up in the second intermission, we'll have a feature on Edmonton Oil Kings goalie coach Lyle Mass. Rebels player Brett Ferguson will be our ringside guest, plus a feature on the owner, governor, and president of the Red Deer Rebels. He also just happens to be the head coach of the Calgary Flames, and that is Brent Sutter. That's all coming up next right here on the WHL on Shaw.
WHL hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Friday, January 8th when the Vancouver Giants lay siege to the Alberta capital as they look to dethrone the Edmonton Oil Kings. WHL hockey, only on Shaw.
Darren Day, a Victoria real estate agent with over 15 years experience and online at dayteam.com. Darren Day, what a difference a day makes.
With Shaw Video On Demand, it's your choice. There's lots to choose from. New releases, action, comedy, kids shows, and more. With Shaw Video On Demand, you choose the movies or television shows you want to watch, and you choose when the show begins. You can even pause, rewind, or fast forward your program anytime you want. Browse anytime, just by using your Shaw remote. It's that easy.
Edmonton Oil Kings trying to make it 2 straight wins after losing 11 straight. They lead the Red Deer Rebels 2-1 after 2 periods of play. Both goals coming on the power play. Lane Warbowski, of course, the teddy bear goal, his first of the season, first as an Oil King, and then Dylan Ruck late for them in the period, his 3rd of the season. Willie Kutsi scoring for the Red Deer Rebels. He picked up his 16th of the season. Well, 20 years ago, WHL goalies could only dream of having their own coach to work with them on a daily basis. They basically had to do the exact same drills, skating, whatever, bag skate with the rest of the team. Nowadays, every team has a goaltending coach or consultant. Lyle Master is responsible for backstops in Edmonton, and we learn more about his duties in this week's Husky Mohawk Profile with Kevin Verove.
Getting ready for practice. Something Oil Kings goaltenders Cam Lanigan and Tori Jung have done hundreds of times during their WHL careers. However, today's on-ice session will be a bit different. The goaltender has always been described as a rare breed, or a bit of an odd creature. So really, it's no surprise when hockey clubs started enlisting the services of a goalie coach to help in the development of these special people. Lyle Mast is widely regarded as one of the best goalie coaches in the country.
I've been involved with coaching for about 24, 25 years.
Mast travels the country teaching his craft. He also works with NHL clubs like the Los Angeles Kings. He is also the Oil Kings goalie consultant and is on the ice with Cam and Tori once a week, every 4 weeks or so.
One of the mistakes that I see common is when they have some success, that they grasp an early expectation of what they can expect for the next game. And then when that doesn't happen, they go, it really affects their mental game.
It's different than anything I've had in the past. Obviously, he's kind of my first, full-time goalie coach, and he definitely knows what he's talking about.
Mast is quick to point out that the typical hockey practice is not the best learning environment for a goalie in terms of preparing for game-like situations. That's why a goalie coach is so important.
Being able to use not necessarily game-like situations in practice to sort of still set up and continue to realize what parts of the ice they're responsible for and how to play and address that on their own, because they're not getting a lot of feedback typically.
So what does Mast actually do? Not only the typical stuff like positioning and angles, but head movement, and more importantly, what goes on inside that head as far as the mental game is concerned.
There's ways to make it easier on yourself, and there's ways to, limit rebounds differently, and there's ways to, appear bigger and appear set, and Lyle's helping us do that right now, and he's great at it.
It's Cam Lanigan's second full season in the WHL. Having Mast has helped greatly.
A lot of technical stuff, but also a lot more focuses on the head trajectory and just working with kind of keeping our minds in the right spot from time to time, not letting little things bug us. You come out of each practice not worrying too much about how you feel as opposed to how you did.
Goalie consultants have been around for about the last 15 years, with teams in the CHL and the CJHL employing full-time coaches within the last 10 years. It's a full-time job for Mast that has earned him a good living teaching these special people a thing or two about stopping a puck.
Congratulations to Medicine Hat Tigers captain Wasey Hamilton. He is this week's Boston Pizza Player of the Week for December 7th through the 13th. In 5 games for the Tigers, he had 2 goals and 9 assists, and the Tigers were a perfect 5-0. We got to take another quick break here at WHL Central in Vancouver, but lots more to come after this.
Southland Leisure Center. For information, visit calgary.ca/leisure centers or call 311.
Coming soon to Shaw Video on Demand.
We saw it before it actually happened. We're alive, and so are a lot of other people.
I keep having these visions. I see how the next person's gonna die.
What do you mean, the next person?
Survivors in the accident.
What if we weren't meant to survive?
The 32nd annual Max AAA tournament is coming to Shaw TV. The best and the brightest boys and girls hockey players from across North America will battle it out for 6 days to earn the right to play in the finals. Catch the future hockey stars of tomorrow in one of the most competitive tournaments of the year. The Max Midget Championship Day on Shaw TV will be broadcast live New Year's Day. Check your local Shaw TV listing for game times.
The holidays can be a difficult time for families and individuals due to the mental and financial strains of the season. Shaw TV and Yardworks want to spread some seasonal cheer by presenting our Shaw Snow Samaritan program. If you know of someone who could use Yardworks snow removal service during these cold winter months, enter them into our draw at shawtv.com or by calling our viewer response line. So go ahead, Calgary, feel the holiday spirit with Yardworks and Shaw TV.
Shaw.
First game of a home series between the Rebels and Oil Kings. It's Edmonton leading 2-1 after 2 periods of play. Time now to send it back to Rexall Place in Edmonton, where Brendan Parker is standing by with Rebels left winger Brett Ferguson.
For a little bit of a back and forth period, what are your thoughts on that?
Too many turnovers on our part, and we want to play down in their end, and that's not what's happening right now. It started to come on a little bit towards the end of the period, but we gotta take it to them a little bit more.
What's working so well on their power play that's giving you guys fits?
Well, I think they're just shooting pucks, and we're not getting in the lanes, and we're not blocking them. And anytime you put a puck on net, it's dangerous. So that's what they're doing, and they're getting rebounds and they're putting them in.
After this team's put together some wins, do you feel that confidence now going into a third period trailing?
Oh yeah, for sure. Over these last 6-8 games, we've just been such a confident team, and going into the third period, we're going to come at them, and we know that we can tie this thing up.
Appreciate this, and good luck in that final frame.
Thanks a lot.
Brett Ferguson, the native of Vibank, Saskatchewan. Dan, you know where that is?
I actually do. I had to look it up today because I was curious myself. About 50 kilometers southeast of Regina. Who doesn't love Wikipedia? It's the best thing in the world. By the way, population approximately 400. Anyway, we'll move along. I like trivia, yes. Well, the 5th youngest of 7 sons, Brent Sutter, is a busy man these days. So busy, all his duties don't even fit on his business card. By day, of course, he is in the first year as head coach of the Calgary Flames. By night, weekend, whatever it may be, he is the owner, governor, president of the Red Deer Rebels. Somehow, he manages to juggle it all with amazing success, and Brendan Parker caught up with him to get all the details.
As a National Hockey League coach, Brent Sutter makes sure he is fully focused on the task of guiding his Calgary Flames to a successful season. But in the rare periods of downtime, Sutter knows he is still the owner of a major junior team, and despite a little closer to home, his responsibilities remain the same.
Allow everyone inside the organization to do what they do best, but I'm certainly closer for them if there's questions or if they need to see me face to face on things. But when you're coached at this level, you need to be committed, and I certainly am.
While he may not spend a lot of time here in Red Deer, Sutter says he trusts the team he has in place both on and off the ice. And never was that more evident after handing off the Vice President of Hockey Operations tag to head coach Jesse Wallen this offseason.
He's been part of the organization for a few years now. He knows what it's about. He knows what my expectations are. What we want as a hockey team there, and him and I are a lot of the same page on that, and yet I still allow him to do what he needs to do.
It was just something that Brent kind of mulled over through the off season and felt this was going to be a better fit, and it's been a good experience for me, and I think it's it's great to have that responsibility and have a little more input and imprint on the team as far as personnel is concerned. And
Wallen admits playing the role of head coach and general manager can be very time-consuming, but knows that one of his greatest teaching aids is only a phone call away.
Well, the communication's huge, and Brent and I have always, kept in communication. We talk just about every day, and I think it's been a great relationship.
Him and I certainly have communication and stuff, but and if I can help him out any way or give him some advice in certain things, I certainly will. But what he wants to do with it is up to him. but he's a pretty intelligent person, and he has a real good feel for the game and a good feel for the hockey side of it.
As for the Rebels on ice product, well, after missing the playoffs 3 of the last 4 seasons, things are slowly beginning to turn around in Red Deer. And both Brent and Jesse feel it's a team that has to find a winning mentality. The secret, they hope, is just around the corner. Brendan Parker, Shaw TV, Red Deer.
All right, thank you very much, Brent. 9 other games going on the dub on this Friday night. Brandon Wheat Kings win their 7th straight 4-1. They defeat the Moose Jaw Warriors. Saskatoon, they're sliding there. They've lost 6 of their last 9, including tonight, 4-2 the final in PA. In Calgary tonight, the Hitmen have outshot the Pats 38-18 through 2 periods, but it is a 1-1 score. 7-2 in Lethbridge tonight for the Kootenai Ice. 3 power play goals for the Ice. Joe Antilla, he's got a hat trick in this one. How about Kamloops? 3 power play goals, 5 first period goals, and Jordan DePap, who they acquired from Brandon, that Shane Weeb deal, he's got a hat trick in the first period. Pretty good as they lead 5-1 over PG. Mitch Wall, not on that U.S. World Junior team. He's showing maybe that they made a mistake. He's got a goal tonight as the Chiefs lead the Thunderbirds 1-0. Big game between Chilliwack and Vancouver. Brandon Manning is 6 on the power play, 1-0 for the Bruins. Matt Tassoni has scored in Portland as the Broncos and Winterhawks go at it, and Justin Fazer has scored for the Tri-City Americans as they lead Everett 1-0 in the first period of play. Well, if you want to know where all these great players are from, like Vibank, Saskatchewan, check out WHL.ca for everything you need to know about the Western Hockey League, including the full schedule for the WHL on Shaw. Well, that will do it for myself here at WHL Central in Vancouver. Time now to send it back to Edmonton and Rexall Place, where Dan and Bill have highlights and analysis through 40 minutes of play. Guys?
Hockey fans, please direct your attention to the big screen above center ice.
All right, Dan, thank you very much. While it wasn't a very exciting first period in terms of scoring chances, but the second period had obviously all the goals, Bill, and I thought some more creative plays.
Well, you know, it's 2-1 Edmonton, but I'll tell you, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is somebody they're going to have to contend with. Watch him come up the ice here and make a pass to Brad Haber. You better be ready for that. By the time it bounces off his stick, it's maybe a little late to, you know, get a real good scoring chance. And again, Nugent-Hopkins, watch the back pass here. Slow it right down, guys. Watch where his pass goes. It goes through 4 guys right on the stick of Coetzee. And, it was still scoreless at this time. Look at him stop that puck and drill it right off the crossbar, right at the corner of the post and the crossbar. And he stays there. He doesn't leave that zone. He knows good things happen around there. This is a frustration. Bang, the stick now. Darcy Kemper plays the puck outside the trapezoid, gives the Oil Kings a power play. This is the one that's going to bring the Teddy Bears out, folks. The clearing attempt was picked up by Pesic. He got it to Werbowski. The shot, and out come the Teddy Bears. Werbowski's first goal. It was a 1-0 Oil King lead. Now you get the Red Deer goal. Nugent-Hopkins forces that turnover. And again, Brad Haber gives that puck up, puts it right on the stick of Willie Coetzee. That tied it at 1. And again, Oil Kings on a power play. Lukov at the net. 2 guys chasing, Ruck and St. Croix. The first one, second one, that's St. Croix with the first chance. Dylan Ruck follows it up. By the way, if you ran that back far enough, you'd see Dylan Ruck, first guy in the corner, Dan, to even get that puck back to the point. It's 2-1 right now for the Edmonton Oil Kings, but I don't think this is the way this game's going to end.
All right, stand by. Third period coming up from Edmonton on Shaw.
Discovery Honda. Honda service with factory-trained and certified technicians. Discovery Honda, on the Island Highway, just north of Duncan.
Championship Curling is live on Shaw. Catch the semi-final of the 2010 Scotties Tournament of Hearts of BC, live from Penticton. Tune in Saturday, January 9th at 5 p.m. Pacific to see the women battle it out for the BC crown.
The gutter filter system from Sun Valley Window Cleaners. It seals out all types of debris, including leaves, pine needles, and seed pods. Invisible from the ground and no maintenance required. Water pours through it while everything else blows over the top. For more information, go to sunvalleywindowcleaners.com. A first-class hotel just got even better. The Kelowna Ramada Hotel and Conference Center now features brand new rooms for your comfort, and you can still count on the same attentive customer service to ensure an unforgettable experience. The Ramada Hotel and Conference Center. Reserve your stay today.
WHL hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Friday, January 8th when the Vancouver Giants lay siege to the Alberta capital as they look to dethrone the Edmonton Oil Kings. WHL hockey, only on Shaw.
The Western Hockey League would like to take this time to recognize its prestige partners. Cal Tire, a proud supporter of amateur athletes throughout Western Canada. Cal Tire, true service. And your local Husky and Mohawk retailer, home of Mother Nature's fuel. Naturally, it's Husky.
Well, last year at this time, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was getting ready to play in one of the most prestigious midget tournaments in the world, the Max Midget Tournament. It's produced names like Zach Parise, Sidney Crosby, and Jerome McGinley. And this year, Shaw is very excited to be broadcasting the finals. It all gets going on New Year's Day when they have the first time the midget girls final broadcast nationally, followed by the boys midget final. The Max Midget Tournament, a great tournament that's produced so many good players, including Jesse Wallen. I asked him earlier about being a part of that tournament. He said the memories were a little dim. It was back in 1993, but still a great tournament, and we are very pleased to be doing it. And Bill Williams, I know you're excited as well to be there on New Year's Day.
Yeah, absolutely, Brendan. No question. An event I think that's put close to 300 players in the National Hockey League is always exciting. Midget hockey is great a level, probably outside of junior, that you could follow for excitement. It's great.
As we start this third period, the teams are at full strength. The Oil Kings leading the Rebels 2-1 as they try to win 2 in a row after losing a franchise-high 11 games consecutively. Another fight breaking out. Archer lined up. Just trying to pick up who the Oil King is. It's Rashinsky. So what do we got? The two captains going at it here? Why not? Well, festive season fisticuffs. And Rashinsky staying on his feet despite, ouch, all the punches being thrown. And that gives me an opportunity while they sort this thing out to thank everybody working behind the scenes and pass along the best of the season to all those part of our Shaw telecast. We mentioned Brendan Parker, and I want to send a shout out to his family in Saskatoon to wish them a happy holidays. Dave Roberts, our producer, his family in St. Albert. Happy Christmas and New Year to the Roberts family. Brianne Jefferson, her family's from Yellowknife, so we wish Brianne and her family all the best, and all of us at Shaw passing along of the best of the season to you and yours. Our final game before the Christmas break, and our first game back for Bill and I will be back in this building in the WHL when the Vancouver Giants are here in the first week in January. And this is how Bill and I start our day every day. Who's going to drive the car today? You drive. No, I don't want to drive. You take the wheel.
You take the wheel, Dan. I'll succeed to you every time. Just give me maximum heat.
There you go.
Boy, we've been lucky. Alberta weather's been kind to us so far. Touch wood.
24 seconds into this period, we get the Fighting Majors as we see the captains go to the box for what is the fourth Fighting Majors to each team handed out. So 4 different fights in the game. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 here in the third. Same 2 teams tomorrow night in Red Deer. I'd say they're setting the table. And as we started this telecast tonight, we mentioned that these teams are playing quite a bit in the future. As the 4 of the next 6 Oil King games are against Red Deer, and a chance for them to move up the standings. And boy, do they need. Bill talked about potential sweep. Even to take 3 out of 4 would be big if you're Edmonton. A sweep would put them right back in the picture, though.
Dan, and I don't think either one of these teams, certainly not the Rebels, in terms of, sellers at the trade deadline. I'll tell you why. I think they owe it to the fans of Red Deer to make the playoffs, so I don't think they want to do anything to sell this team short and not get that opportunity. They may make trades, but I don't think it may not necessarily be to strengthen or weaken, at least not for this year. This is a Rebel team that's bound for the playoffs, and Edmonton needs to get it going. We've talked about that several times, and 3 out of 4 would, as you say, Dan, would be a big step in the right direction.
Nugent Hopkins couldn't get that puck towards the net, but Cootsy's trying to keep the puck inside the line. Pretty good little scrum there, and it is forced out by the Oil Kings, and Nugent Hopkins has it again. Watch how slippery he is. He's just so hard to hit. We saw that the other game earlier this week when Regina tried to nail him a couple times on an end-to-end rush. And that's one of the things. I mean, you're calling the game as I am, and I want to keep my eye on Nugent Hopkins because, you know, he's just so slippery. Deagle gets the puck back down to Weller. Weller cross ice, it goes to Witt. Throws it towards the front of the net. The Rebels have a chance here to move it in front of the goal. Deagle spinning in that corner. Has Person with them. Person taking the pass back to the net. Plays it back to the line. Here's Weller. Weller throws it in front once more. Ferguson trying to turn around for a shot. Could not. Back the other way. Here comes Logan Prue. Prue from Trail, British Columbia, putting the puck in deep, throwing a nice check on the backboards. As he hit Weller and Prue came up with the puck. It goes now to TJ Foster. Foster can't get it in front, but Owanek goes in there to try to help out. A little bit of cycle by the Oil Kings, but that's broken up. And the Rebels get the puck out to the neutral zone as we just passed the 3-minute mark of the third period. Owanek got it to the Red Deer line, but no further. Puck shot back in again. Back of the net. Here's Cootsy. Cootsy throwing it in front of the net for Haber. Haber collecting it on this near side. He was hit there by LaRocque. Oil Kings trying to keep the Rebels on the outside, which they've done a good job of so far in this period. And for much of the night, you have to say, with the shots 24-17. Puck off the backboards. Halukov trying to collect it there for the Oil Kings. In on the forecheck is Brad Haber. Again, the puck nowhere near a scoring situation. Oil Kings can't get it out, however, and now there's a chance for Cootsy, but his shot deflects over top the net. Willie Cootsy getting that shot. He has the lone goal here for Red Deer as it comes out to the neutral zone.
Dan, you know those last 2 sequences.
St. Croix, pass in front, Redicke, shot, rebound, shot, score! Brent Redicke makes it 3-1.
I was going to say those last 2 sequences, the Rebels were inside the Oil King zone. I thought Red Deer or Edmonton did a great job of keeping that puck from getting anywhere into a dangerous area. And isn't it interesting? When you play such good defense in your own zone, it leads to chances going the other way. And this is the guy that has to step up. He does. Redicke does make it happen. They just get it inside the offensive zone, and Redicke with the shot, the rebound, simply overpowers the goaltender. But, you know, I mean, it is a case where you play well in your own zone. It just translates. You'll hear it talked about so often to, you know, chances in the other zone.
Speaking of overpowering, I'm not going to fight against this one.
Number 8, Michael St. Croix. And the number 16, TJ Foster. Time of the goal, 4 minutes, 15 seconds. Oil Kings goal scored by Reddick.
All right, there you go, 4:15, the time of that goal.
And Foster at 4:15.
And the Oil Kings have the biggest lead of the night at 2 goals. And they're looking for more. Redicke on the forecheck. Gonna get the puck back again as he throws it in front, but it's intercepted. Rebels have possession, out they come. Ferguson brought the puck in over the line with Scheidel. Going hard to the net. Scheidel again can't get the shot through, but as he tried to get the rebound, Lowe took him out. Comes back here to Petrovic. His shot blocked. Ferguson, cross ice. Witt will try a one-timer, and it deflects off the target. Back of the net for Person. He can't get it in front of the net. Out it comes to the line. Brought back in. Offside.
Redicke, the goal scorer. We talked about a little bit of a subplot. Redicke and Cootsy tonight, both signed players by Detroit. Redicke has got a goal, Cootsy's got a goal. And this is again, you know, Petrovic just kind of hands that puck right away. That Redicke getting his own rebound, that puck is stopped, he stays with it. maybe, just maybe, Dan, that's one that Kemper said, you know what, it shouldn't have got past me. Doesn't make a whole lot of difference for Redicke. It's 3-1 now for the Oil Kings.
And they get the puck deep into the Rebel zone once more. Ferguson, though, for Red Deer, gets it out to center. Now it is Ferguson following it up, trying to get it in deep. Back to get it is Witt. Petrovic, his pass broken up in the neutral zone as it bounces to Comiskey. He rolls it in. Witt tried to throw a check on Comiskey, missed him. And Red Deer's Petrovic out of his own zone as he got it nicely to center. Couldn't quite get it in deep, but it might work out anyway as D-Goal had it in the deep slot. Couldn't get the shot away. Pesic has it now. Pesic to Nickel. Up to Foster. Pass off the boards. Picked up by Barreco. Barreco guided off the puck there. Goes back to try to get possession. Edmonton on it for a moment. That was Dylan Ruck, who has a goal in this game. Nugent Hopkins has to fish that out of his skates. Couldn't. Ruck goes back the other way. Archer kind of fell, so Ruck had a chance to go to the net, but Nugent Hopkins, sensing that, came back with a good back check. That leads to Coetzee going the other way, but Pesic breaks that up. So the young guns having a good shift again. Pesic and Nugent Hopkins out there. We just saw Petrovic the shift before. Nickel in over the line. His shot goes wide of the net. Boy, I'm sure going to look forward. I know a lot of WHL fans will. They're watching these young players develop, even to be bigger players than they are. Nugent Hopkins goes to the net. Couldn't get the stick on it. And now it is Nickel trying to reach a pass. Can't. And that's the fun part of this league. You see Nugent Hopkins right now, Bill. What's he going to look like 2 years from now in this league?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be in the league 2 years from now.
Well, there you go. That good.
I think he'll get drafted next year. 17 years old, and what's happening with a lot of players now, he's just maybe one of them that, you know, depends on a lot of things. Depends on his size and his strength, but he's
Evander Kane-like. I mean, going to the NHL as an 18-year-old.
Yeah, you just never know. You know, I mean, the game is played in such a way now that it's, you know, a Nugent Hopkins can if he can be strong enough.
Well, we'll see how he develops also physically. Right now they list him at 6'0", 160 pounds.
Yeah, he's got to be 190, I would say, at 6 feet.
Yeah, I was going to say 185, 190, so see how it plays out. Meantime, here's Petrovic from the line. His shot knocked down. No chance Toronto sends Luke Shin back to Kelowna, do they?
Boy. Boy.
He played over 100 NHL games and he's out of the lineup.
You know, it has happened. But
go back to the CHL team?
Yeah, it never will in his case. But, you know, I mean, stranger things have happened with that.
You think Bruce Hamilton would find a jersey still for him in Kelowna?
I tell you, he'd have his pick.
That's right. No doubt about it. Pesic has possession of the puck. 8:45 gone here in the third period. Edmonton 3, Red Deer 1.
I mean, look at the recovery play that Pesic just made there. I mean, sure, a bit of a turnover, but he gets right back into it. And there again, you know, his defensive partner does exactly the right thing as that puck was shot in Pesic's corner. Drew Nickel played it perfect.
Bill, I can't take my eyes off him, even though I have to sometimes. I mean, he's just made so many great plays tonight. And some of the things you talked about earlier as to what the scouts look for. I mean, I've just been watching what you said, and I mean, he looks amazing out there to me.
Well, he's so controlled. He's so, you know, he sees the game, as we said, so well. This game hasn't been short of any physicality. And I think, honestly, the 3-1 lead that the Oil Kings have been because I think they've been a little bit more the aggressor, a little bit more to the attack. You see the little pat there. I mean, the fights are one thing, but they know that they're still best of friends when everything is said and done. But I think this has been a hard-fought game. There's no question about that. It hasn't been an easy game to play on the ice, and I do give the Oil Kings credit. They've done a pretty good job.
Up until perhaps that play there, and they almost gave up one in their own zone, and that was the wrong guy to give it to as well. Coetzee, chance from the deep slot, but Oil King fans happy that didn't turn out to be a all-important 3-2 goal. Now Red Deer ices the puck as we near the midway point of the third period.
And the thing, too, when you talk about guys like Nugent Hopkins and all of that terrific group of 16-year-olds in the league this year, Dan, I mean, McColgan and Kelowna and St. Croix here, I mean, the list is endless. They've got those great offensive instincts. And the thing is, you have to have confidence in your offensive instincts. Players that come up to this league, they've got the instincts, but they don't always have confidence. And you know what they do? They end up trying not to be a liability on the ice. They end up dumping pucks in, going for line changes. You really admire the greatness of these good kids that do have the instincts to score and score lots of goals and make those great creative plays.
Kemper making a save off St. Croix. Here comes Elson going in. His shot, a high one, was knocked down just wide of the net. Well, we got the arm in the air. We're going to get an Edmonton penalty here. Looks like a push from behind, and Red Deer, door open when we come back on the power play with 9:50 to go in the third period. Oil Kings 3, the Rebels 1 from Edmonton. It's the WHL on Shaw.
Travel Guys. Watch the Flight Center Travel Guys weekly on Shaw TV. Join Darren Parkman and Jim Gordon as they visit New Zealand, the ultimate adventure playground. Flight Center Travel Guys. See the world in less than 5 minutes.
Waste management landfills provide more than 17,000 acres of protected land for wildlife habitat. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green, think waste management.
Darren Day, a Victoria real estate agent with over 15 years experience and online at dayteam.com. Darren Day, what a difference a day makes.
Edmonton Oil Kings. It all started with Werbowski, his first of the season, a power play goal after a good face-off win by the Red Deer Rebels. Here's the shot. That brought the Teddy Bears down. That came at 10:50, period 2. And then that was Ruck chasing down a shot, a rebound around the net. And then Redicke, this last play, one shot, picks up his own rebound. There he gets it again. Stays with it. He says, hey, listen, if Coetzee can score a signed Detroit Red Wing, so can I. I talked about that right off the top, one of the subplots. And the last penalty that's going to give this Red Deer team a power play behind the net, the hit from behind. Keegan Lowe, never get away with that one in this league. And a nice opportunity with lots of time left here for the Rebels to capitalize and get within one.
Lowe, by the way, has really been improving. He was -11 in his first 14 games, and he's been +3 in the last 20 on an Oil King team that has been struggling. I don't know how much ice time he's getting on a night-by-night basis, but those numbers stood out. So let's see how the power play operates as Petrovic plays it to Morin as they pass it back and forth. Coetzee takes the puck over on that far side. Nugent Hopkins over on the right side, and there's a centering pass that was intended there for Mayer. Put in front, Mayer can't get a stick on it. Redicke can, and he dumps it back inside the Red Deer line.
That lane, that little passing lane that Nugent Hopkins saw couldn't have been more than 6 inches wide. A puck barely would have fit through there. He got it through.
Now he passes off, and there's a shot on goal and a stop by Jung, and Mayer looking for a rebound. No rebound from Jung.
Yeah, Cullen Morin, 81 assists so far in his career for the Red Deer Rebels. Gets the shot on the net. He does get it through, and Jung holds his position beautifully. Again, Nugent Hopkins everywhere, guys. We don't want to sound like a broken record, but I mean, man, how do you avoid that? How do you avoid not seeing him dominate this game in many ways? And he doesn't have a point.
Although he has a case for one. He really caused that one Red Deer goal, but off an Edmonton stick. So Petrovic and Morin passing. There's a shot up high as the rebound, but it's gloved away. Coetzee gobbles it up over that far side. Coetzee putting on the brakes. Head up. There's a nice crisp pass right to the line to Petrovic. Down it goes to Nugent Hopkins. His pass, there's a rare one that doesn't click as it hit Comiskey, but Coetzee goes in to help out. Petrovic has the puck. 40 seconds still remaining on the power play. Morin to Nugent Hopkins by way of Petrovic. Comes back to Morin. Coetzee couldn't handle it, and it goes down the ice. Shots in the game are 27 for the Oil Kings, 20 for Red Deer. Red Deer with only 3 shots on goal in this third period, trying to come from behind. They're 2 goals down. Morin out of his own zone. Coetzee trying to get it. Again, the Red Deer team 7-2-2 in their last 11. But down in this game, Borrego. Now Morin, slap shot, just missed that corner, and it rattles off the boards out to the neutral zone as the penalty expires. Red Deer 0 for 2 with the man advantage. 7:40 to go in the third period. Can the Oil Kings win 2 in a row after losing 11 consecutive games?
They've been certainly, I think, worthy of this 3-1 lead. Said that earlier. I think they had more offensive zone time, and I think they played a very, very structured game in behind their own blue line.
Offside for Red Deer at the Edmonton line will force a face-off into the neutral zone.
Well, if you're following the Regina Pats, they're playing in Calgary tonight, Dan. It's 3-1 for the Hitmen. But I understand the shots on goal are over 50 for the Calgary Hitmen to 20 for the Regina Pats. Now, you know, we talk about, obviously, Jordan Eberle and Colton Toubert not being in the lineup, and they've also been hit by some other injuries. But, man, oh, man, elbowing penalty coming up. The noisiest fan is on the screen, the noisiest fan meter. So I'm not so sure by the sounds of this who's it going against, but you're going to see Tyler Lukoff end up in the box. I mean, this is two penalties in a row. I don't think that Steve Flo can be very happy with his team's discipline in the last 5 minutes of this hockey game. Hey, you're up by 2. There's still a lot of time left, and this Red Deer power play, again, with Nugent Hopkins and Coetzee out there, it's always a threat no matter where that puck is. So this is another big kill I think, for the Oil Kings to keep this a 2-goal lead.
And while you were talking, I clicked on WHL.ca to see Calgary has posted a 3-1 final against Regina, and the final shots were 50-22 on the evening. So another win in the book for Calgary. That's their 26th of the season, and they lead the Eastern Conference. Face off down low. They did click 2 seconds off, but are they going to put those back on the board? I guess that's the discussion right now. And they do. They put the 2 minutes back, so that was a mulligan of sorts. As they announced the Lukoff penalty. That was an elbowing penalty. Here's Petrovic. Nugent Hopkins, third power play. It's a must right now for Red Deer. You'd think that Pesek gets the puck, he'll send it the length of the ice.
And I want to mention, too, Colton Mayer up front with Coetzee and Nugent Hopkins. Colton Mayer, another 16-year-old. So his Red Deer Rebel team, 2 16-year-olds up front on this Red Deer power play.
Wyshynski gets it for Edmonton, but can't get it out. Petrovic to Morin, moving in, winding up, doesn't get the shot away. Wyshynski came out to block the lane. Nice pass in front, and Nugent Hopkins just puts it wide of the net. And in fact, knocked down with a high stick, which will bring the faceoff 200 feet the other way.
You know, Nugent Hopkins just stands off to the side of the net. I'm not so sure this pass by Morin ends up being a little higher than he'd like. But you watch, he's off to the side. Now Morin's going in on the far left. He knows that. So Hopkins stays in that spot. There's the pass. Just a little bit. Looked like that pass was about 6 inches off the ice, but he knew that when Morin went deep along the left wall, that's the spot he had to go to. And they got, you know, a good pass by Cullen Morin to get it to Hopkins.
So 1:19 left in the power play, and Edmonton, while shorthanded, wins a face-off. Getting it in deep, and now Petrovic will start back with Morin taking the pass. He'll flip it in, and giving chase is Colton Mayer, who is from this area as well, from St. Albert. Mayer on the back, or on the forecheck rather, trying to get it back to Nugent Hopkins. And right between the 2-point men it goes, as the Oil Kings are successful in clearing at the length of the ice. Edmonton's penalty kill came in number 20. Their power play number 22. Both could improve tonight. 2 power play goals, and there's a chance for Red Deer, and again, Jung says no, and so far, the special teams, as far as penalty killing is concerned, Red Deer on their third one. They don't have a power play goal tonight. Petrovic getting to the red line, sending it in deep. Pesic first to it. Got it to Burns in his skates. Now a battle back to the net. Ferguson back there, number 18 for Red Deer, trying to fish it out. Comes loose, back to Petrovic. Shot, save, rebound. A hard rebound, and Ferguson couldn't gobble, or Person couldn't gobble it up real quickly. Petrovic back to Morin. Nice move by Morin. Pass in front of the net. Backhand shot, great save, and a rebound in front. Comes back to Morin. A shot over top the net as everybody ducks. Wow, that was Jung's maybe best save of the hockey game with the pad. And it keeps it at 3-1 with 5 minutes remaining in the third period. A big save, a great save, but a very timely save for Torrey Jung. Puck flipped in, and so back-to-back power plays for Red Deer, and they're unable to claw their way back in to within one. Brought in over the line by Logan Crew as he throws it at Kemper, and Darcy Kemper holds on.
This is a good effort, and it's all started, I think, with Petrovic. Petrovic's going to make this pass to Morin. Now, Morin knows if you get by him, go to the side of the net. Make this pass to Ferguson. Ferguson gets it right to the front of that, and that is a nice backhand save, and I agree with you. That's his best save of the period. And John Person right in front of the net. Watch how that puck is just going to hit Jung's toe, right on the toe to keep it out. That keeps it 3-1. That was a penalty kill, but it didn't come without a nice save by the goaltender, Torrey Jung.
So now 4.5 minutes remain in the third as Comiskey tries to keep that puck 200 feet away from his own net. Ruck trying to do the same on the forecheck. Nothing fancy right now for Edmonton. They'll just work this cycle and kill off some seconds. Sudik tried to throw it in front. That was intercepted, but the clearance doesn't get out. Here's a chance again for Crew. A shot almost ended up on Ruck's stick. And now Red Deer able to lug it to the neutral zone. Not much further. We're going to have another penalty. Arms are in the air. Cambites getting involved too with, looks like LaRock right below us. They're tangled up in that little knot. And for sure we're getting an initial penalty. What else? I don't know, but we have a hurt player. Is it
Robin Sudik? Oh, that right in front of the Red Deer bench. There was some pushing, some shoving. I know Cambites was involved in it. He's the guy that's going on the box.
Well, he might be the one who put Sudik down. It was right below us. We lost him in our sight lines here.
I think Cambites has had a good effort here tonight. There's a cross check. He gets from behind and then continues his play right into Sudik with his stick up. So,
hey, Brendan, did you get a look at it down there?
Cambits came in when he came. Sorry, guys. Now, well, it happened right in front of me. Cambits came in, and the high stick, it was actually a cross check right to the face of Sudik. And as soon as it happened, the Oil Kings bench erupted. And right away, Steve Blow wanted the 5-minute for it. I don't know if that's on the score clock, only 2 now, but it was a pretty good cross check right underneath the visor to the face of Sudik.
Just a minor, though, and Edmonton goes their 4th power play. They're 2 for 3 with the man advantage.
2 minutes for high sticking.
And that's it, Brendan. High sticking penalty called. So that's good news for the Oil Kings because they can kill off 2 more minutes or add to their lead. Glove hand pass stops the play.
I think the Oil Kings will be made certain, even though they are on this power play. They don't really do anything to give up any shorthanded opportunities. The Rebels have scored 7 shorthanded goals. The Edmonton Oil Kings have only had the 1 shorthanded goal they've scored themselves, but they're not really a big threat to give up that much. But yeah, I mean, they said this earlier, Dan. It's been a hard-fought game, and not just I'm not just talking about on the ice. There's been some fights. We've had 5 in the game tonight. I think both teams have come out here, knowing the importance of a game like this, and it's been a pretty impressive Oil King 3-1 lead at this point.
It looks like they have fed off that win they got a couple nights ago. As Regina came in here, maybe you could say limped in here, but the Oil Kings took advantage, just as Red Deer the night before had taken advantage of the Pats. But Red Deer's been doing quite a bit of winning late, and Edmonton hasn't. And there's nothing like the feel of a win to get everybody excited. But meantime, Nugent-Hopkins goes in and just puts that one wide of the net. Short-handed chance there for Red Deer. And here's Redicke, nice move, takes a slash on the way. There's going to be another penalty, a slash or a hook, and it's going to be a two-man advantage for the second time tonight for Edmonton. And we remind you, the way they scored their first goal was on a two-man advantage.
Watch Nugent-Hopkins with the acceleration to go wide and then take it to his forehand. The shot, even though that puck was rolling, he got quite a bit on it. Redicke went up the other way, answered right back. Good job. Look at the back check. Slides it right through Petrovic's stick, gets it to the front of the net. There's the slash. Kemper wanted nothing more on that particular play to grab that loose puck. So it's a two-man advantage with 2:36 left. That two-man advantage, 44 seconds or less for the Oil Kings.
But more importantly, with the time wasting down, 2.5 minutes to go, the Oil Kings can play it rather cautious or add to their lead, whatever they wish to do, or a little bit of both.
We got a two-man advantage of the Edmax power play.
And there's Ruck banging at the puck. He can't get it cleanly on his forehand, and it's shot down the ice. Quickly brought up the ice on the stretch pass by Jung, as the goalie was able to, on the two-man advantage, sense that the stretch pass will work nicely in that situation. So we're under 2 minutes left. The first penalty coming to an end, as Edmonton can't hold the puck in at the line. So now they go to their fifth power play, 2 for 4 tonight with the man advantage. Ruck in over the line. Morin tries to break that up, could not. Minute to go in the power play. It's just a minute and a half left in the hockey game. And it appears, although stranger things have happened, that the Oil Kings, after losing 11 in a row, are going to hit the win column twice in 3 days. And again, these same two teams will meet tomorrow in Red Deer. And if we project a win for Edmonton, the updated standings will look like this. Oil Kings moving up past Lethbridge this week into number 11, and they'd be 8 points behind Red Deer. Now Red Deer will have all those games in hand as well, but Oil Kings will worry about that later.
Congratulations, Christopher.
2-on-2 at center ice. Short-handed Kutsi throwing the puck in. There goes the goalie to the bench, extra attacker. So that'll make the manpower basically the same as it goes back into Edmonton territory. Pesek eats the puck a little bit there rather than try the clearance. In on the forecheck is Ferguson. He came up with it, gets it back here to Archer. His pass, or shot rather, knocked down. Rebels, can they hold it in? No. They have to wait for their mates to get back on side. Kutsi puts it around the horn on the other side for Ferguson. Half a minute to go. Oil Kings, Werbowski over to Foster, and he gets it inside the line, and that's going to do it here with 20 seconds to go. Red Deer going to fall for the first time in the first meeting, I should say, to Edmonton. First of 6 meetings this year, and the Oil Kings will draw first blood. So Rebels try to make it close at the end. There's Nugent-Hopkins, but this game will come to an end. And the Edmonton Oil Kings win 2 in a row. Scoring twice in the second, one more in the third. Full value for a 3-1 win over Red Deer tonight as they congratulate their winning goaltender, Tori Jung, who now has 7 wins on the season. Stand by, more coming up from Northern Alberta as you watch the WHL on Shaw.
Championship Curling is live on Shaw. Catch the final of the 2010 Alberta Scotties presented by Williams Moving and Storage.
The City of Calgary's Southland Leisure Centre offers swimming, fitness, and recreation opportunities for all ages. For details, visit calgary.ca/leisure centres or call 311.
Wheel Pros have trained professionals to help find the wheels that fit your vehicle. They have a large stock of rims, mags, and wheel accessories for your ride, all in their new showroom, 4143 Edmonton Trail Northeast. The Wheel Pros.
If you've been diagnosed with arthritis, you probably have questions. Find the answers in Arthritis 101. This free workshop teaches you about your disease and helps you find support in your community. Call or visit arthritis.ca to enroll.
I had a dream that my Christmas shopping was a breeze. There was ample parking in the West Parkade. I got everyone on my list covered by using the gift generator, which gave me plenty of time to take in all the sights and sounds of the season.
What do you think it meant?
I think it means I'm going to Chinook Center.
We want to give you sweet dreams by giving you a chance to win a $1,000 shopping spree. To enter, call the viewer response line or visit shawtv.com.
WHL hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Friday, January 8th when the Vancouver Giants lay siege to the Alberta capital as they look to dethrone the Edmonton Oil.
Goal. A pretty good night for yourself. How did that feel tonight?
Yeah, it feels great. You know, it's good to get the first one out of the way, and it's nice to get it tonight. It feels special.
How much has this team developed? You went on that big, long road trip. Did you really come together as a group over that, tough span?
Yeah, we struggled on our road trip putting together a couple wins, so it got our team together, and since we've been back, we've been playing a lot better, a lot more structured, and the team's coming together pretty good.
What are some of the positives that you keep taking away from these wins?
Just our work ethic, how we battle in the corners. We keep track of hits and shots, and that always helps.
Moving forward now, you get Red Deer again. This is a hard-fought game, a lot of fights. Does a lot of that emotion carry over to tomorrow night?
Well, yeah, it's a big rivalry, so emotion will always carry over, especially with back-to-back games, and we're excited.
Appreciate this, and good luck tomorrow night.
All right, thank you very much.
Lane Warbowski as we go upstairs to Dan and Bill.
Okay, Brendan, and I would say, Bill, we sometimes toss around full value for a win, but, no tossing that thing around, no doubt about it. Edmonton was full value.
Dan, I really think that Steve Plow has to be commended for his effort for his team here tonight. He said he's been feeling the heat. There's no question. He said, the tough questions, they're fair questions, and he's been hard on his vets, he's been hard on his rookies. And, when you go on that kind of a losing streak, you'll find that what often happens is one of two things. Your team is split up or they're brought together. And these last two games that this Edmonton Oil King team have played, we didn't see the Regina game, but tonight they played as a unit. And good on Steve Plow and what he's doing.
Well, happy night for the fans here. The Teddy Bears were tossed, and the home team wins. Nothing better than that. And on that note, Bill and I both wish all our viewers a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Can't wait to get back at her in January. And the same to you, Dan Elliott, back there at WHL Central. Best of the season to you.
Thank you very much, guys. Very much appreciated. Best of the season, and Merry Christmas to you both as well. All right, let's take a look at the Sobeys 3 stars. We heard from the first star, Lane Warbowski, got his first goal of the season, and it was one that brought the Teddy Bears raining down onto the Rexall Place ice. The second star, Michael St. Croix, he's been pretty good as of late here in his rookie season. The W had a pair of helpers for the Oil Kings, and the third star, Willie Kutsi, picking up his 16th goal of the season for the Red Deer Rebels, your third star. Remember, for great meal ideas and ingredients, just add Sobeys. All right, we got to take one final break. We'll be back to wrap things up for our game and look at the out-of-town scoreboard one more time.
Championship Curling is live on Shaw. Catch the semifinal of the 2010 Scotties Tournament of Hearts of BC, live from Penticton. Tune in Saturday, January 9th at 5 p.m. Pacific to see the women battle it out for the BC crown.
PostNet Print and Business Center, offering graphics, printing, signs, banners, and courier solutions by Canada's top 3 shippers, FedEx, Canada Post, and Purolator. PostNet, Kelowna's exclusive FedEx shipping center.
The WHL, the leading supplier to the NHL for over 40 years. More WHL players are selected each year in the NHL entry draft than any other league in the world. The WHL, your game, your future.
We're not saying don't bend your back, just bend correctly. 25% of all work injuries are back-related. So keep fit, maintain flexibility, and bend your knees when picking up even the smallest object.
Even if you have some pain, the best treatment for most back injuries is progressive activity. The sooner you get moving, the sooner you'll feel better.
WHL hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Friday, January 8th when the Vancouver Giants lay siege to the Alberta capital as they look to dethrone the Edmonton Oil Kings. WHL hockey, only on Shaw.
10 games on this Friday night in the Dub. 5 are finished, 5 still in progress. Let's run through them all for you. The Brandon Wheat Kings, they have been red hot. They've won their 7th straight. 4-1 the final over Moose Jaw. Shane Weeb scoring in his first game as a Wheat King. Saskatoon, they're struggling. Lost 6 of 9 now. 4-2 the final for the Prince Albert Raiders. They fired 47 shots. Craig McCallum had a goal and assist in the victory. Calgary Hitmen, speaking of shots, they had 50 tonight as they defeat the Regina Pats 3-1. The Pats continue to struggle. Ian Schultz picked up 2 assists in this one as the Hitmen win their league-leading 26th game of the season. Kootenay Ice hammering Lethbridge tonight in Lethbridge, 8-2 the final. 3 goals for Joe Antilla in the victory. Kamloops in Prince George tonight, they are rolling along. 4 power play goals. Jordan DePap, just acquired from Brandon for Weeb. He's got a hat trick in his first game, all those goals coming in the first period. Seattle, Spokane tied at 1 after 2 periods of play. Mitch Wall, he has scored for the Spokane Chiefs. At Pacific Coliseum tonight, it's the Chilliwack Bruins leading the Giants 1-0 on Gordie Howe night in the second period of play. Brandon Manning, he's got the goal for the Bruins. Swift currently in Portland 2-0 in the second. Matt Tassoni, Taylor Voss have scored for the Broncos. Tri-City and Everett tonight. Phaser and Lazo have scored for the Americans. They lead 2-0, of course, the top team in the Western Conference. Of course, in our game tonight, it was the Edmonton Oil Kings defeating the Red Deer Rebels 3-1, your final. Warboski, Ruck, and Redicke scoring for the Oil Kings. St. Croix had a pair of helpers. Willie Coetzee scoring in the loss. Torrey Jung making 25 saves for his 7th victory of the season. 2nd straight for the Oil Kings. They try to get things started here. 2 power play goals. That was a good sign as well for the league's worst power play. Of course, the best news of all, 2005 Bears collected on Teddy Bear Toss Night. A great night in Edmonton.
WHL hockey is live on Shaw. Catch the NHL stars of tomorrow today. Don't miss the excitement when the Vancouver Giants lay siege to the Alberta capital as they look to dethrone the Edmonton Oil Kings. Tune in Friday, January 8th, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific for great junior hockey action. The Western Hockey League, building the world's finest talent. WHL hockey, only on Shaw.
And even with a short-haired dog, that will really help to hold